Hello, hello. On today's show, giveaways are back. And Mike has an unbelievable round 3 of Cover Combat 3 to show us. And Pat says there's a new King of Collectibles on the horizon. Welcome to your favorite live streaming whatnotting podcast. And I am your third or fourth favorite podcaster, Kevin. And as usual, I have two amazing gentlemen here with me today. Looks like Patrick is first. Pat?
I am first. Hello, everyone.
Hello. And of course, the amazing Michael.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
What's up? Were you looking to give a little Cover Combat 3 teaser during the hello segment of the show there?
Yeah, I figured that's what you were laughing about. I was just trying to be prepared. I didn't realize that it added it to the stream right away.
Yeah. It was okay. Made it interesting. It took me a second to recover, but I made it. So we're good.
Yeah.
So it's going to be unbelievable today. There was an awesome post that was hilarious. Wait, was that just us in the group, or was that on?
Yeah, that was just the private group.
Oh, okay. So we had a little private group thing that Mike is building up the round 3 matchups as being unbelievable, and you got a lot to live up to there, and we'll see.
Yeah, like I said in that post, I was near tears on trying to pick some of these.
Okay. All right, so let's get right to it, right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Awesome. Perfect. Let me make my screen big here.
All right. Okay. I think we're almost ready to go.
Man, there is a lot of Green Lantern, a lot of Moon Knight.
Yeah, there was a lot of Green Lantern. Marcus pointed that out because Marcus made sure to tell me he's not a fan of Green Lantern.
Hey, I think I can't remember what character you were talking about when you said they were different. Was it Green Lantern? Were you saying there was 4 Green Lanterns, but 3 different people submitted them? It wasn't the same person. Is that what it was?
Correct. That's it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. It's and there were different artists for all of them too. You know, so it was a nice, well-rounded Green Lantern
batch.
I can't say the same thing about Moon Knight.
The one person that we would assume would submit a bunch of Green Lanterns is probably happy about it anyway. So
yeah. How crazy would it be if I told you that they didn't submit any Green Lantern?
That would be even crazier. Are you serious?
No, I'm not. I was just asking how crazy it would be.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. I'll be here all day. All right, let's get rolling on this. Here we go. All right, so the first matchup, we have Moon Knight #1, that pencil sketch variant, versus Captain America #6. And this is we were all dogging
I just have to say this about this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So the pencil sketch variants definitely grew on me the more I thought about it. I guess I just kind of revealed which one I picked anyway, but yeah, man, I'm appreciating that more than when we originally talked about it. How it was kind of, but I'm appreciating more. Do you guys feel the same way after a week of looking at it, or no?
No, I looked at it pretty closely. I mean, it's cool, but I reserve the pencil sketches. They're kind of like, I wouldn't put them up in any competitions or anything just because it's not a completed piece of work.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. But I appreciate what they are. It's just, yeah.
So what's the percentage on this bad boy?
The winner had 63% of the vote.
So I'm obviously not alone. Gotcha.
Nope. 37% of the voters picked the loser. Not that I gave that away or anything. Or
I thought you were going to time it with saying that with making the pick visual.
All right, and the surprise winner is Captain America.
Got it. Which that's obviously a great cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Karen liked Moon Knight from the beginning, so she was ahead of me. So that's a good way to put it. Come to think of it now, I'm liking it less now. When you called it it wasn't a completed piece of work.
Right. Yeah. Well, there is. Well, I'll get to it.
Okay.
All right. Next matchup. Here we have. No surprise, lots of Green Lantern. Green Lantern number 1 by Ethan Van Sciver versus Batman 865. All right. This one, the winner had 68% of the vote.
Okay.
So a little bit more than that last one. It was still a pretty decisive victory. Are we going to see more Catwoman dominance like we did the last cover combat? Or is Green Lantern going to take over as the new dominant character?
I'm literally, clueless with this one. Which way to go? You got a prediction, Pat?
I really don't.
It's so close, right?
Well, in your minds.
Yeah, in my mind, it's stuff.
Yeah. All right, here we go. And it's Green Lantern.
Oh!
Oh, no.
I'm actually, I guess maybe I would have leaned towards Catwoman because I'm a little surprised by that, but that's a great cover. Yep, it's great.
Yeah, when you look at this one, the lines are so perfect. I mean, Ethan's got just the most perfect lines. It's unreal how neat his stuff looks.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what's next here. Hey, it's another Green Lantern. Now this is Alex Ross versus Deadpool. Number 13. And this one's a little bit closer. The winner here had 58% of the vote.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we have another victory for Green Lantern.
Yeah, I figured that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Goodness, are there any cheers here?
Our audience is booing this awesome Alex Ross cover. That's shocking.
It is shocking.
Unless Tyler's in control of the sound effects.
Right. Yeah. All right. And next up. All right. This is a good one here. Spawn 100 versus Amazing Spider-Man 528. The winner here, 68% of the vote.
Oh, wow. I figured this one would be closer, too.
Yeah, I did as well.
Not a fan of yellow Spider-Man, so.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it as well, actually. Yep.
Well, I think this is the Pittsburgh Steelers edition.
Oh, man, you should have sold it that way last week.
Why would I? Maybe Spawn's mine.
That's true.
Maybe neither of these are mine.
Right.
I do like black and gold. All right. And the winner here with 68% of the vote is the Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, my goodness.
Do we have a boo here? You guys don't.
I have a
boo. Is a boo, Karen. Come on.
I'll boo that one.
Yeah.
Mike Diacono over Alex Ross.
Karen is showing who she is. All right, maybe we can get some cheers on Amazing Spider-Man 520 versus Superman 211.
Hold on, I'm still mad. I just want to say, okay, I submitted that spawn. Okay, so personally, I'm upset because I submitted it, but then also, man, that is such a great cover. And although that amazing cover is good, I mean, man, it just, I cannot believe.
Well, I think, let me correct you. The Amazing Spider-Man is greater because it just won. The Spawn is great. Amazing Spider-Man is greater. I'm just talking smack. I'm just talking trash.
Man,
I'm trying to support whoever submitted the Amazing Spider-Man because they're getting dogged right now.
I actually wanted to submit that Spawn in the previous cover combat, but it didn't, obviously it didn't fall into the, but and literally I was so excited. I thought it fell into our parameters. And when I found out it wasn't, I was like, dadgum. So then that was like my first choice whenever we just went down a decade for the next cover combat. So yeah, dadgum.
Yeah. All right. So Amazing Spider-Man 520 versus Superman 211. We have an awesome Spidey or Superman trying to beat up Wonder Woman. The winner here, this was close. 53% of the vote.
Yeah.
47%. This was our closest one. Tough one. And it is Superman.
Yeah. Thank you, Karen. That Spidey's cool, but man, his posture is just kind of awkward, I guess. I don't know.
It's puzzling to me that this Spider-Man would lose, but the
other one would win. Yeah.
Well, I think it's the same way. It's at night. I don't know.
I just know it's one less Mike Deodato cover, so I'm happy.
All right. Well, I know if we ever get around to, everybody has to submit a certain artist, I won't be using Mike Deodato. All right. Next up, Daredevil 13 versus another Green Lantern book.
Man. This is another too close to call for me as well.
Yeah, this was 58% to the winner.
What say you, Pat? You got a prediction on this one?
I have hope.
What's your hope?
Green Lantern goes to the grave.
Oh.
It's a unique Daredevil cover, once again using part of the artwork for the title.
Is it too unique for the audience?
We'll see in a second. And it is.
Green Lantern is rocking today. That's 3 out of 4 so far.
Yep.
This is you like this cover too, Pat? You just thought the other one was better?
Yeah.
You really don't even like this one that much, huh?
Not really.
Oh wow, I love this one.
It's all right. Nothing special.
Yep.
Nothing. Let's say I'll say there's nothing that I hate about it as compared to those Spider-Man covers. This one is technically
better,
more in my lane than those Spider-Man covers.
Gotcha. Who did this one, Mike?
I don't recall.
Doug
I think
Monkey.
Patrick pulled it last week.
Doug
Monkey.
Yeah.
Monkey.
Yeah, I always say Mankey. But I butcher everyone's names all the time. All right, where are we now? All right, here we go. Another Green Lantern 21 versus Civil War 7. Can Green Lantern make it a sweep? The winner here, this is the question. These next, this one right here was pretty close. This one, the winner had 58% of the vote again. Only a few votes difference. And it is the Civil War number 7.
That's surprising. I mean, I'm a big Steve McNiven fan, but I thought the trade dress would hurt this cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, that's actually was my concern too. Yeah, I thought this is classic greatness though, in my opinion. So yeah.
Yeah, it would have been better with but you know, all the Civil War books were like that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was surprised this one did so well though. But it's moving on. Next round. All right, here we go. Now, what are we on our Moon Knight stretch here? We got action. I mean, there has been a lot of Superman too, hasn't there?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm, yep.
So we've
But
got
is there 3 Superman? Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we have well, some from the other round. Action 868 versus Moon Knight number 2.
Classic Moon Knight look.
Yep.
Versus an awesome storytelling cover with action. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Can Moon Knight be the new Green Lantern?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
All right. The winner here, once again, is 58% of the vote.
These are all pretty close.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Moon Knight.
That's a great cover, though. I mean.
Sorry, I meant to turn down the clapping was very loud. I was trying to turn it down. I muted everything.
Oh yeah, Karen, can you control the volume on that? Maybe just you can see the volume right above that bar. Turn it right above those. Maybe a little bit more than that. Somewhere in between where it just was and where.
And if you can boo all the Moon Knight. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just dogging it.
Okay, that's a good question for you. Not the same person didn't submit 3 Moon Knights. Did that person?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. All the Moon Knights. All right, next up. Uncanny X-Men 500 versus King Size Hulk number 1.
92% for Victor.
What's that?
92% for the Victor here?
No. This was the biggest landslide, though, at 79%.
I knew it.
To the Victor.
Easy pick, easy pick. No offense to who submitted the loser. It's just I don't like it.
All right.
I like the pencil sketch variant better than the loser here. That's for sure.
You're assuming that you picked the winner.
I totally am. If who I'm calling the loser and everything I just said wins this,
yeah,
I'm leaving. I'm out of here.
All right. All right, here we go. With 79% of the vote, the winner is the Uncanny X-Men.
Thank God. You totally scared me there. That's out of here.
That was a tough one for me. I like both of those.
Ridiculous.
Art Adams just can't get. Well, yeah, he can. He did win the first cover combat.
Pat, are you showing your hand here? Did you submit that Hulk?
Yes, that was my Hulk. Rest in peace, Michael Turner. He was an extremely nice guy when I met him, but I'm not a fan.
Oh man, I love Michael Turner's work.
Yeah,
but I love Art Adams.
Man, that the Hulk, that face on that Hulk was just too wonky for me.
It's just too perfect, you mean?
Yeah, everything else I love about it, the face, and it's just the eyes, I guess, in particular. I don't know,
That's Red Hulk's eyes, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I will fully admit I've never read anything with Red Hulk, so I wouldn't actually know. This is another, situation like that. So whatever. Sorry.
Yeah, this one surprised me because.
Sorry, Pat. I wasn't trying to be particularly brutal to you. Just so everyone knows, we don't know who submitted that either until we confess.
Judging by the percentages, you weren't the only one being brutal, so I don't know. It's a head scratcher for me. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, you do like this X-Men cover, though, right?
No, I do not.
At all, for real? Oh wow! So you think this is going down to the next matchup anyway? Then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to think now. Apparently, there's a lot of Michael Turner fans out there.
Yeah.
Who's the artist here, Mike?
Michael Turner.
Oh, this is Michael Turner?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, who did Red Hulk?
Art Adams. Whoa. Okay, sorry. Scared myself. Well, holy jeez. Calm down.
Oh man.
There you go. Yeah, Art Adams did that Hulk. That's why I really was surprised at the landslide on this one. I thought I was be closer.
Okay, I'm confused because I didn't know who either of them were.
Mm-hmm.
Pat, why are you saying rest in peace, Michael Turner? Then
because he passed away years ago.
Oh, you mean literally Michael Turner?
Yeah. Sorry about that. If anybody didn't know.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
The
only people I'm going to remember passed away are the ones we do a little tribute on our show from now on. Anything previous to that, I've forgotten.
You forgot,
except of course the King. So and
so Patrick, you want me to let you know who your allies are on this cover?
Sure.
You, Valor, Marcus.
Oh,
Marcus licked it, and my brother-in-law, Ando.
Oh wow.
Yeah. What's wrong with the rest of you people?
So you were just saying, even though Michael Turner was a very nice guy to you in person, you just still dislike this cover so much.
Yeah.
Why? Gotcha. Yeah. Are you? You're not a fan of his work in general?
Correct.
Okay.
I just don't like his anatomy. His faces are too long. If people complain about the sort of just jumbled up George Perez covers, this one, man, that's a lot of stuff going on there in that cover. So
yeah, that's part of why I love it.
All right, let's move on because there's more to be upset about.
Man, I love when I shouldn't say I love. I don't exactly love it, but I love when we disagree with each other, Pat, because at least you're not mean about it.
Right.
Yeah, Pat's not dogging any of your books.
Yeah, he's a very nice disagreeable.
I mean,
guy.
unless you put that X-Men up, then he's dogging that.
All right, here we go. Invisible Punisher on a Moon Knight cover versus Avengers.
Moon Knight number 9 versus Avengers 503. This was the second largest landslide.
Oh, hold on. We told everybody to only vote for Avengers in this one.
Well, the winner got 74%, so either they listened or they didn't. And yeah, Patrick hated this one. This is Finch on Finch.
Right. I had to vote for Finch no matter what.
Yeah. Right.
I have a feeling he just threw a dart at a board.
Right.
All right, with 74% and moving on, we have the Avengers.
Oh, thank God. I'm just glad that controversy is out of here.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah.
Valor voted for the Moon Knight. I said, "You're not supposed to vote for the Moon Knight." Didn't you hear Mike? He says, "I don't watch the show, sorry." And I said, "But vote with your heart. Vote for whatever you want to." And he voted for the Moon Knight. So
okay, that's fair. Did Johnny send either one of you? He actually sent me a message. He went to the video, or no, I think he went to the Facebook post of the round that actually had that Moon Knight. You know how we were talking about whether it was in the previous round. He went to the Facebook post and shared that with me.
Oh,
and circled it with his red pen on there. See, there it is. I was like, yeah, I know. I was the one that agreed. I knew.
Yeah, I agreed. I just forgot.
Yeah,
I still forget.
This is a cool cover, though. This is. I would have voted for this even if there was no controversy.
Yeah, this one's great when you actually look at it. It's not super flashy, but when you look at it,
well said.
I like the idea behind it, but I also get tired of the cover. Where here's Hawkeye stuff. Here's Thor's hammer. Here's Scarlet Witch's headdress. It's all laid out. It's like, okay.
Here's Hawkeye stuff. Oh yeah.
All right. What we got?
Next up. All right. Marvel Knights Spider-Man 17 versus Batman 608. 63% of the vote went to the winner here. This one's little bit bigger. Any thoughts here, guys?
This was pretty unpredictable for me too, because I said what I said when you posted them originally, that these are both great for different reasons, in my opinion, and pretty much equally great in my opinion for different reasons.
Yeah, they're kind of on the same level for me, so I went with what I thought was the more iconic cover.
Yeah, I'd say that was probably my judgment as well. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, the winners, Batman.
Nice.
608. Yep.
That was the iconic one I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it's Batman on a gargoyle.
Yeah.
It's one of the more perfect Batman on a gargoyle.
And at least he's not, because typically when you see Batman on a gargoyle, he's kind of in that hunched, kind of coward position, as opposed to a big stature position like this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Plus, we're hoping for that Superman Batman matchup.
Yeah.
Mike might already know.
That's what people were voting for, probably. All right. And our final matchup, Catwoman 65 versus Batman 675. And the winner here got 68% of the vote. Way over half. Any ideas? I can't remember.
This is the one I said I can't wait till this Catwoman's gone, just because of the way the Catwoman is on the cover.
Oh,
the words. Yeah.
I thought it was the other Catwoman you were hoping to get out of here.
That one too.
Kevin's very anti-Catwoman, everyone.
I am now, I guess, maybe.
All right. With 68% of the vote, the winner.
You're talking about the prison. Yes.
Yeah. Batman.
Karen, can I get a clap on that one for my sake? She double boobed me.
Karen is a big Catwoman fan.
One Catwoman down.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, I will say with Catwoman though, I like that one. It was okay, except for, like I said, the way the title was actually written on it. But then and then that other Catwoman, I don't like, just because she looks so ugly in it, because you're referencing the one where she's on the lineup, right?
Well, have you ever seen anybody take an attractive mugshot? It's a mugshot. Her mascara's running. Does she wear mascara? She was in that picture.
Yeah, she was. That's true. Yeah, she definitely was in that picture. I think maybe that's part of it. How she's crying too, or sweating, or and it's running down her face or something. It's like, yeah, I don't like that. Of course, I can restate that all day long. But then I just want to say I do like all the other Catwoman covers usually. Like that other one that was just in this round too. That one's cool. That's not my favorite Catwoman, but that one's cool too. You actually found that in a quarter bin last week, didn't you, Mike?
Yeah. Yep, found that. Belongs to Xcellar now.
All right, so sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So I've got an announcement. Teased it at the top of the show. Giveaways are back. Okay, and I do mean plural. Here you go. You ready? You guys excited?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Excited.
Here's what I have to offer. Well, I've got a question too. Once I'll just say who the giveaways are, but or what the giveaways are. But then I got a question for you too, referencing something that already happened. Mm-hmm. But make sure to vote on your prediction for the Cover Combat 3 champ. And the only place that can be voted is in the YouTube comments, correct? Mike,
yeah.
You said that right? So vote in the YouTube comments as to who your Cover Combat 3 champ is. This is a first come, first serve process because every cover can only have one vote. Mm-hmm. And here are the prizes for whoever correctly predicts. And I am, again, meaning to say prizes. 2. 1 is for Xcellar family. Xcellar, anybody in the group and their family members and all immediate, people involved. And then the other is just for viewers. Okay. So the prizes for the Xcellar family, or the prize for the Xcellar family, is a reprint of the first appearance of, so you pick, let's say you pick that Catwoman cover we're talking about, okay? You get a reprint of the first appearance of whatever characters on the cover you pick. So that would be Batman #1, first appearance Catwoman. You get a reprint. That's what the Xcellar family and all the people involved gets. A reprint of the first appearance of whatever characters on the cover they pick. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Viewers get the 1 through 6, the first Infinity Gauntlet series, if they pick the champ.
Nice.
I don't have that with me. I meant to bring it with me, but I forgot. So I'll show it next week. But
all right.
Comment your winner in the comments. So now here's my other question. We had 2 people comment a champ already. Do they have to comment again, or are we letting that fly?
I would
Let it fly.
Make them comment again.
Okay.
For one reason only.
What?
Because one of them was eliminated this week.
Oh, okay.
So while everybody else is picking from a smaller pool, it's I mean, I could use the one that
I was actually thinking
eliminated.
the opposite. Based on if one of them was eliminated, we should let them go through then, because if you make them comment again, the one that was eliminated would essentially be getting 2 guesses.
Right, but they were guessing from books that weren't available to pick from. You know what I mean? Because it was all supposed to start now.
Oh, that's true. Okay, that's true. All right, so the 2 people that already predicted, thank you very much for commenting. We appreciate you participating. I don't want to slight you in any way with that, but unfortunately, we hadn't stated the giveaway start was happening yet. That didn't talk about what you're winning, so I appreciate your excitement for not even knowing what. Maybe it was just for hey, I just predict this. Fun. You didn't know there was a prize involved, but now there's a prize involved, and it's official. So re-vote for the 2 people that already voted, and everyone else, get your vote in. Like I said, sooner than later is better. And there will be a cutoff. We won't be doing this all the way up to the final week, so there's no sense in waiting for the pool to get smaller. I guess I'm thinking we'll probably do it this week, next week, and that'll be it. So get your vote in to claim who you think the cover Combat 3 champ's going to be. And if you're involved with the Xcellar group at all in any way, you win a reprint of the first appearance of whatever cover's on the cover, or whatever characters on the cover you predict. And then if you're not involved with Xcellar family, you get Infinity Gauntlet 1 through 6. So
sounds good.
Yeah, it's awesome, right?
Yep.
I wanted to have something for both, but man, I was like, with the Infinity family, with the Xcellar family, and then Infinity Gauntlet, I was like, if one of them are going to get it, I just want to keep it myself. Jeez. I'm willing to hook up the rest of the community with that, but I'm a reprint fan anyway, too. Pat, what do you think of reprints like that?
I mean, they're always good to have out there. I think you should always have access to them. I'm not a big collector of them, I guess, but
yeah, I'm a big collector.
When I first started collecting, that was a great way to get and read the books that I missed, that I had no opportunity to have. So it's they're positive.
Yeah, I like the actual that looks like the original reprints too. I mean, because I just like having that appearance, even though obviously it isn't the legit one. And hey, lost it to Bostic. I'll simplify this. It isn't a yes, no. You're voting as to which one of the cover combat, excuse me, which one of the cover Combat 3 covers are going to win cover Combat 3. So pick one cover and comment as to what cover to claim it, because it's first come, first serve. Each cover can only be claimed once. So that's what we're voting on, Bostic. Appreciate the comment.
Yeah, it's more of a claim than a vote. You're kind of claiming
that
book as yours, and you're the only one that can claim it. No one else can. And it's going to be one of the 24 covers that I'm getting ready to reveal.
Yeah.
And just comment in on this episode, and I'll note it, and it's claimed.
Voting on YouTube comments only, correct. Yep, that's the only place you can vote. I thought you froze there for a second, Mike.
Oh, sorry. No, it's the family getting ready to go out, and they're asking questions.
Okay.
So,
well, we're ready for these 24 to be revealed now.
Okay. Yep.
Or I guess we're not ready. This is going to be shocking.
Yeah. So you got me up there. Okay, we're ready to go. All right. The first matchup.
Sorry about it. Sorry, a little slow there.
We're ready now?
Yeah.
It starts off a little slow, and then it gets right into it. Now, on one of these, Marcus pointed something out. You know how we always like to find faults with like, you know, the Captain America one where the flag was draped onto the ground.
Yes.
You want me to point those out? Because one came about.
I think they're fun. What say you,
Right.
Pat?
Yeah, I'm always interested to hear
Other
perspectives. Yeah.
It's the reason that Marcus didn't pick a certain cover, and I'll explain it to you when I get to it.
All right.
All right, our first matchup. Deadpool 14 versus Superman 204. Everybody was really hoping for that Batman Superman matchup, but it didn't happen.
No, obviously it still might come.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, this is the one who noticed something on?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's an interesting matchup.
Yeah. Well, this is where it gets fun.
I've got my choice on that one already, though.
All right. Next up, we have Moon Knight #2 versus Batman 675.
The rain matchup.
Yeah. They're both brooding and angry in the rain.
That is awesome. I love that matchup.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, though.
Yeah, I don't know what to do here.
All right. They keep coming, though.
All right.
Next up, we have
You're fitting the bill so far.
JSA. What number is this? 73 versus Amazing Spider-Man 539.
The praying matchup.
Yeah. Now, this is the one that Mark has pointed out a flaw.
Okay.
And I hate to do this to Alex Ross, but he said that Captain Marvel there looks like he's got kind of a gut on him. Like he's got
I could see where he would say that. I don't think that's gonna hamper this at all, though, because I think, as long as you're visually looking at it, looking at how the shade's working. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see a beer belly.
Maybe. Gotcha.
All right. Next up, we have Captain America 6 versus Green Lantern #1, Ethan Van Scott. So this is not bad. This is a good matchup.
So far the comparison. So we got the rain matchup, and I call it the praying matchup because they're both kind of standing there looking down. Mm-hmm. And then this is the holding and showing matchup. Apparently.
Yeah.
Look at my shield. Look at my lantern.
Right. All right. Well, you're gonna love this next one then. And I have to put this out there. These are honest to God random. I pick the names first. I spin the wheel for the names, and then I go and I spin everybody, like Kevin's name. I spin it. That cover comes up. I spin his again. It fills the next block for his. I do it through that. These are all random.
Okay. A great stone matchup.
Right. All-Star Superman 6, Green Lantern 43. Oh, yeah.
All right, Lost at the Basket is claiming X-Men, which he knows it's going to be in these.
Oh, okay.
24 because it won the last round. So,
well, there are two X-Men. There's Astonishing X-Men from round 1, and then Uncanny X-Men.
I forgot about that one. Yeah, which Bostic? There's two X-Men. You need.
there's 3 because there's 2 Uncanny X-Men's. So he's kind of put a hold on X-Men for right now.
Okay.
We'll get to him.
Almost there, Bostic. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's the graveyard ones.
Matchup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Yeah. All right. We're not done. And I'm not kidding.
Yeah. Are you serious?
Yeah. All right. This next one, not so much, but we've got Green Lantern #1, Alex Ross versus Star Wars Clone Wars. I can't believe that book beat my Wolverine.
I hate this matchup. Dadgummit.
Yeah. Not a fan of that book. I wish I had that Star Wars book.
You're gonna have bad feelings about that book from now on.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like that one that Spider-Man that knocked out your Spawn.
Yeah.
Like, dang, I didn't like it before. Now I just outright despise that book. All right. I like this next matchup because of it's kind of opposites here. So we've got Amazing Spider-Man 606 versus Superman 211. So in one, Spider-Man's kissing a woman, and the other one, Superman's slugging a woman.
We're trying to, but she blocked it.
Yeah, she's Wonder Woman, so of course.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me too, actually. Yeah, dadgum.
Yep. All right. Next up, Avengers 25 versus Uncanny X-Men 493.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing similar on those at all.
No, this one's not.
Major contrast there.
Yep. But they're both very heroic, I guess you can
Yeah.
But it's not as on the nose as the other ones were.
I think I decided my vote already, and I don't like my own vote. I'm mad at myself.
Oh, that's not good.
Got to be honest, though. Got to have integrity about your feelings, though, right?
Yep.
I mean, I guess if I just want to vote just pure on feelings, I could do that too. Whatever, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do what you want to do. All right.
Here.
Catwoman.
Daggone
51 versus Civil War 7.
Man, I hate this matchup too. Daggone. Can we put Civil War against Avengers and Catwoman against Star Wars? Oh man.
Nope.
I mean, X-Men. Yeah.
Oh, X-Men.
Oh yeah, that's the other X-Men you were talking about. Yeah.
All right.
So what say you? Is she sweating and that's why her mascara is running, or is she crying?
I think no, Catwoman doesn't cry. I think she's just it rains a lot in Gotham, sweating, rain.
It is running right under her eyes, like it could be crying though. I don't think that's impossible.
It's just her mascara running.
Yeah, her tears didn't get her hair wet. I think it was raining out.
Okay, if her hair's wet and she's wet everywhere, it's not just her eyes. Why is no other part of her wet?
They gave her a towel.
I'm not so sure about that.
You might be right. I don't know. Whatever.
All right. Yep. Karen says rain, so it was rain. Because she was right about the crawl space.
She didn't have waterproof mascara. Yeah, everybody vote in the comments too. Is crawl space? Two questions. One is crawl space, one word or two words, and the second question is, should crawl space be one word or two word?
And question 3 is, your crawl space waterproof?
Right.
You guys seen the Harley Quinn homage to this cover?
No.
Sure.
It's actually really good.
Yeah.
I'm not a Harley Quinn fan, obviously, but I shouldn't say obviously, but if you didn't know, I'm not a Harley Quinn fan, and it's a great homage to this. You check it out. Google it.
All right, I will. All right, next up, Patrick, you might want to go ahead and just take a break.
There's another Finch on
got...
Finch. No, it's a Turner on Turner. I have to vote for Michael Turner.
Uncanny X-Men 500, Teen Titans 1. That's both great team books too.
Yeah, I hate this matchup too. Dadgummit.
Coconut.
This is probably the toughest one for me for different reasons than it's tough for Pat.
Yeah.
And I love both of these. It's awesome.
Yep.
And I'll be voting for big old forearms in this.
Wait, forearms or biceps?
Forearms.
Wow, you got Superboy with the huge forearm, and
Yeah, I knew what he was talking about. X-Men, or I mean, a Wolverine with the bicep. That's what he should be voting for.
Yeah, the Teen Titans is a little more restrained, not just a big lump of characters
People.
for me.
heroes. Not a pile of heroes there. Well, the thing that gets lost, Iceman kind of gets lost in that top right corner because he kind of, the gray background with that blue.
I disagree.
Right. Yeah, it's a good one. God, that's a thing.
I think if anyone gets lost, it's Nightcrawlers.
Nightcrawler's in there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Oh, I see him behind Wolverine's claw.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. Here we go. Next up, we have Batman 608 versus Avengers 503.
All right.
Yeah.
Two of my boys against each other there. Dadgum.
Yep. And finally, Kevin's favorite Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
X-Men 26, Amazing Spider-Man 528.
Yeah.
So there we go. That
Down
is
with Spidey. Down with Spidey.
Just so some stats here that this was total covers altogether. There were 7 Finch covers,
wow.
Jeez.
5 Jim Lee covers, 5 Alex Ross covers.
Wow.
Just so everyone knows.
Yeah.
That's 17 out of 48 covered by 3. It's 48, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Covered by 3 artists.
Yep.
I mean, they were powerhouses during that decade. Some of them still are,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So the rundown on who has what. You guys want who has what or how many covers left?
Yes. That
I
sounds
can't even remember if I saw any of my covers in those matchups.
Yeah, they're in there. So
They're very few and far between.
we've got Patrick, Tyler, and New York Mike each have 3. Kevin has 4. I have 5, and Johnny has 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
Johnny's rolling the roost right now, huh?
Yep.
All
So
right.
Johnny's got the what were those artists? Alex Ross, Jim Lee, Finch.
She said there was yeah. Yeah. You said there was 7 Finch or so what are there 4 left?
Yeah, I'm not sure
5.
about that.
Yeah.
Well, there's definitely 2 of them. The X-Men, Teen Titans. That's right there. We're going to be losing one, definitely.
Yeah, so Bostic, you need to clarify which X-Men you're talking about. You got 3 options, buddy. So make sure you comment that.
I think he said Superman.
No, he said his favorites X-Men.
He did, and then in the comments, I thought I saw Superman.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm sure he'll clarify,
Yeah.
and I'll get that.
Man, it's awesome, man.
So yeah, I mean, I hope you guys thought those matchups were pretty awesome because
No, I think I think the teaser lived up to its tease. That was pretty unbelievable. That was awesome. I loved it. And even if you didn't like even if it kind of sucks with some of the matchups you got to choose from, Pat, that's a heck of a fun round though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I cannot believe the coincidences between those covers.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That is nuts. That is nuts.
And it
But
was
great
so much.
job. Sorry.
Even Emily, as she's looking at them, she's noticing them too. So it was good.
Yeah. So excellent work once again, Mike. We really appreciate your time and effort
Thank
that
you.
put forth in that. So thank you again.
Yep.
And everybody make sure to vote. Some great prizes involved now. We'll remind everybody about that next week again. So, all right. So I had a pretty heavy week for my segment. I got a lot to say as well as usual. So we ready to move into mine? Anybody else got anything to say about Cover Combat?
Nope.
All right. Okay. So there's a lot of fun to be had here. And I'm going to start with reminding people about something that I don't know why this may be not exactly accurate, but Patrick loves Max Reload and the Nether Blasters. I think if I'm not mistaken, Pat may have mentioned for like 2 or 3 subsequent shows after I reviewed this movie in some way, shape, or form, Max Reload. And he may have done it a couple other times since then as well. I don't know, but right, Pat, am I mistaken there, or am I remembering that accurately?
No, I mean, if anything, the title is a good title because you remember it for sure.
Yeah. And just to remind everybody with my review on this that I loved it. It's an atrocious, lovable thing. It's really bad, but it's a lot of fun, and there's a great cast in it, and I really like this a lot. And actually, I found out somebody new that I didn't know when I watched this, that watching the show now, she's in this, is Yellowstone. The young girl that's Max Reload's best friend / girlfriend in it. She's actually in Yellowstone. I didn't know that until I started watching Yellowstone. So anyway. So the reason I bring this up is because I watched Max Cloud. Max Cloud has a very similar looking, kind of fun, vibrant, busy poster, right? Wouldn't you say?
The other one was better.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're just kind of they're both kind of that corny, hokey 80s look kind of poster, right? Maybe, is that a good way to put it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Well, anyway, and obviously the Max reference. Okay.
Right.
So whenever I saw this, and I'm just going to get into this before I even review Max Cloud. So whenever I saw this, I'm like, man, they have to have something to do with each other. I thought there was enough similarities besides for just Max that I thought there had to be some other similar, something to do with each other. And I was right. There's actually something called the Max. This is how the unofficial Max trilogy. And there is Max Winslow and the House of Secrets as well. And guess what? I watched it too. Okay. So this is what I have to say. I already reminded everybody what I had to say about Max Reload. Now, Max Cloud is about a girl that gets there's an electrical surge in this video game system. Did anyone see Jumanji 2? Did you guys see that?
Oh yeah, love it.
So this is really similar plot to Jumanji 2. She gets pulled in to this video game called Max Cloud, and she is Max Cloud's sidekick. But as she's in the video game, she's aware of herself. And ironically enough, she is actually a male character in the video game, but this is a female in the real world that's playing the video game. And it's a space adventure, kind of typical space opera stuff with Max Cloud being this, ninja kick everybody's butt, perfect shot kind of superhero, space pirate, something for lack of a better way to describe it. And she has to figure out how to get out of the video game with the only thing I really give away. This isn't very deep, as you can imagine. The only thing I'll give away, and it's not really that big of a spoiler because it's pretty early. The thing with this is someone has to continue to play the game for her to actually progress in the story to find a way to get out of the game. So her best friend comes over, and the worst part about it is he sucks at video games, but she has to actually ask him to play and and if he doesn't progress in the story, their fear is if they fail or if the video game system gets turned off, she'll be lost forever. So.
But he doesn't control her character in there. He controls a different character.
No, he controls her. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like this weird, and it's something. Obviously, it's not a high quality movie, real high quality. It's not bad, but they don't really explain it though. But she's aware of herself and she's kind of doing things, but then he's also controlling her, and so it doesn't really kind of vividly explain how that's possible. But anyway. Or exactly how that works. All right, Bostic. Sorry I missed part of that. Starting the new toys I got in the storage tote. I'll vote for whichever X cover that doesn't suck. Bostic, there's only 3. They're all 3 good and none of them suck.
Good luck picking. They're all awesome.
Just pick one. Anyway, my advice for you is to pick the Beast focused X-Men cover. That's my advice for you, Bostic. Anyway, I like this movie a lot. This was very funny, and although very hokey, the story wasn't bad too. And this has got some pretty recognizable actors too. And I said it that way literally because I can't remember their names. But there's like 2 or 3 actors in this that you're like, oh yeah, I know that guy. I think you can tell. Max is the girl right there in the middle. Just above her left shoulder, or no, it's her right shoulder. It's on the left side of the screen for us. That guy and the guy above him are both like people that are in a lot of movies that you'd recognize if you saw them. What channels? Karen's asking what channel these are on. Sorry, Karen, I appreciate that. These are on Amazon.
Good for kids?
Yes, definitely. Oh man, he's picking the cover that Pat hates, Bostic. Okay, I think we all know which one you're talking about there. Yeah, okay.
The Turner cover.
Yeah, the Turner cover. Yeah. Much to Pat's chagrin, but anyway, yes, definitely good for kids. They're fine for kids, Mike.
Right. Well, it sounds like fun, something that Mark would get a kick out of too. So
I think you would too. This one is definitely more. Cleverly funny, in my opinion. This took me back to, what was that other Scott Pilgrim where he had to fight in the video games too?
Mm-hmm.
What was that, Scott Pilgrim, and what was
Versus the World, I think.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's not good for kids.
Yeah, that's not good for kids. This one, but you know how they did the video game kind of cut scenes in the middle of it as he's fighting and stuff? That does this and a lot in this too. So it's a lot of fun.
Right.
I like this. I give it a solid 7.5.
All right, we're making a note.
All right. And then, like I said, then I'm like, I've checked out the whole Max trilogy, so of course I got to watch it. So then I watched Max Winslow and the House of Secrets. And again, that's the unofficial Max trilogy. I think if you put Max trilogy just that straight up in Google, you will get all of the Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome and Mad Max Road Warrior, all of those. That's the official, I guess, Max trilogy. I don't know. But anyway, so what's the first thing you guys notice about this Max Winslow and the House of Secrets poster? No wrong answers here, just curious.
Yeah. I mean, it gives me vibes of like Harry Potter.
Okay.
With the color scheme. He's got his little, what do you call it?
What?
Lacrosse stick. It's kind of like the game they play. Oh, yeah.
Stargate. Stargate in the background. Okay.
Yeah.
Pat, what do you got? You got anything?
Yeah. Harry Potter jumped to my mind too.
Okay. What I was actually going for, see, that's why I said no wrong answers. That's very interesting the way you guys look at this. But what I was looking for is this one takes itself a lot more seriously, right? You can kind of, it's not really hokey looking.
Well, they're teenagers here, so they're more serious.
They were teenagers in both the other ones too. But anyway, this, and the poster is exactly what I just described to. I guess maybe I actually felt this way before I watched the movie. I was like, wow, this kind of has a different feel of the other two Max. You know, it's not very bright and kind of goofy looking or whatever. This one takes itself more seriously. And the movie actually does Itself more seriously. This one takes place in, of course, the House of Secrets. It's just this rich guy's mansion. There's no, from who I know, no recognizable artists. Or I mean, not artists, actors and actresses in this one. But this is definitely This is definitely a better quality film in general too. And the guy in the middle is a billionaire tech guy, and he went to this high school in nowhere, Montana or something like that. And he decides to have a contest to where he invites 5 kids from his old high school to his mansion. And it's going to be like a escape room type scenarios throughout this full 24-hour period. And whoever solves what gets them the most points. Whoever gets the most points wins the mansion itself by the end of the 24 hours. So, like I said, he invites 5 kids from his old high school, and he's going to give them this mansion. So
it's a pretty good prize.
Yeah, definitely. And this is like a super high-tech mansion. Like, it looks kind of old school, like you guys were saying, like Harry Potter-ish kind of stuff. But this is like a super high-tech mansion. Like, it's got robot waiter. It's got like, AI, controlling the mansion. You can talk to her anywhere and everywhere and ask for anything, and she'll provide it, and it's as high-tech as houses get ever, even more than in reality, So this movie is very interesting in a couple ways. One, the escape room and the puzzles and stuff, throughout the movie are very fun and interesting. The way they kind of play out. The acting's fine with these kids. The dialogue's pretty kiddish, pretty simple too. But what really makes this interesting the most to me is this movie has like a real big Breakfast Club feel. Like, all these kids have issues, like the lacrosse kid. That kid is from Cobra Kai. That's where I know that kid from.
Oh,
yeah, the lacrosse kid. So he's like the jock. He's like the popular kid. And then the one girl on the far right, she's like the super beauty queen of the school, really popular. And then the guy on the far left is like the punk. The guy on the far left is actually a nerd. The guy on the right of the beauty queen. Huh?
Yeah, the kid with the skateboard is probably more the.
Yeah. And then the girl in the middle is kind of like you're just awkward but nice girl, kind of, Ali Sheedy's character.
Ali Sheedy, right? Yeah, so you've got Emilio, Ali.
Exactly. I'm serious. This totally gives you a Breakfast Club kind of feel, which, I love Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
And this didn't do it as well. I'm not going to put this at Breakfast Club level, but it does it very interesting ways throughout. And at the end, the payoff was pretty big for me. And as I've said a million times, the ending can make or break. Yeah, Anthony, Allie, and Molly. Yeah, or Anthony, Allie, and Molly Ringwald. Yeah. Anyway, as I've said many times before, the ending is really important for making or breaking a movie for me. This ending did pay off, in my opinion. So I would have given this probably a 7. It's not bad at all throughout, just like the rest of the other Max movies, for different reasons. Like I said, this is not like, and this is okay for kids too, in my opinion, Mike. This is not like the 2 previous Max at all, though. It's so odd that these are kind of in the same trilogy, I guess. But this great ending in this one makes this an 8 for me, So I'd say this is the best of the Max trilogy. But the other 2 were more fun for me. So I actually prefer those. Like those other 2 I could watch. I actually watched Max Reload again. Excuse me. But this one's the best quality movie out of the 3 of them. So definitely check this one out as well.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to check those out because Cora loves The Breakfast Club. It's one of her favorite movies.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
This
yeah.
kind of has that feel to it. I think she might gravitate towards this one.
Yeah, more of a modern feel. Yeah, she might. Yeah. So, all right. And then I went to this movie called Minor Premise. Okay, this is a sci-fi movie.
Mhm.
And I want to say this about this before I start. This movie, and this is the biggest reason it was sci-fi, first of all. And the second biggest reason, this movie has 91% Rotten Tomatoes, and then 85% like Movie Metric or whatever that other, which one gives the rating with the popcorn bucket or whatever. There's Rotten Tomatoes and then the popcorn, but this 91%, 85%. So I'm like, oh my God, I got to check this out.
Right.
It's got to be awesome, right? So the way this movie works is there's a guy that is trying to be able to tap into people's memories and kind of basically you could recall anything ever, in your life if you seek it out. So he's a scientist that's basically messing with the human mind to figure this out. And that's it. And that's it. No, no, just kidding. As you can imagine, that is dangerous business, right? That's dangerous work.
Yeah.
So he actually does this to himself. He thinks he's got, typical, doing experiments you shouldn't be doing because it's not approved by whoever approves these things or whatever. So he does it to himself. And what he actually ends up doing is he fragments his mind into 8 different personalities. Is it 8? I think it's 8. Actually, yeah, no, it's 8. Okay, so the reason you'll get why I was confused there for a second. So he fragments his personality into 8 different personalities, and every 10 minutes, it changes to a personality like clockwork. So he knows when he's one guy, in 10 minutes, he's going to boom, as soon as it turned 10 minutes, change to the next guy. And it always stays in order, too. So he knows what he's getting ready to be. That guy knows what he's getting ready to be, blah, 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 right? And basically, he records himself talking to himself. So every time he becomes a new person, he watches recordings of himself telling him what happened in the previous 70 minutes that he can't remember it all because his, personality changed. Okay. And the other thing that's happening here is because of this experiment, too, and it's fragmented his mind is deteriorating. So he's got like 16 hours to figure out how to reverse this process or he's dead. Okay. That sounds pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the 8 different personalities are all the different kind of emotional people that we are. So one guy's the love guy. One guy's the anger guy. One guy is the super intellectual guy. One guy is the emotional guy. One guy is the sexual guy. Speaking, this isn't for kids. And then they can't figure out what this one guy is because he kind of keeps to himself. And it's actually, I can't remember. I think they were calling them sections or versions or something, but they couldn't figure out. As Karen says, it sounds exhausting. It isn't actually exhausting because this is kind of slow, man. It's kind of dry. I thought the premise sounded very interesting, and this had a lot of potential, especially with the super high ratings, especially with Rotten Tomatoes, that this was given. The only thing positive I got to say besides for what I just said positive, that the plot is good, is the ending was okay. The ending kind of notched it up a little bit for me. It kind of did this little trick at the end. But man, this is very slow. I feel like they could have done it in a lot less time or made more events happen because literally all that's happening is we're experiencing exactly what I just said with no kind of eventful, meaningful things happening until the end. It's just, okay, we get to see him be sad for 10 minutes. We get to see him be smart and try to figure things out before time's up for 10 minutes. We get to see him be angry and wreck things for a minute. It's like for 10 minutes, it's kind of just so pointless through 99% of it. But with a fair ending, I'll give this a 5. Like if it wasn't for a decent ending, I would have probably given it like a 4 or 3 maybe, because it wasn't entertaining to me hardly at all.
Seems like something that might have been like a good Twilight Zone episode or something like that.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. Because then it obviously would have been way shorter. And like I said, the plot doesn't that seem like a really interesting concept? The way,
yeah. Does it all take place in one location?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
And he's got an assistant. It's actually his girlfriend is also his assistant. So she's coming and going and she's helping him, but she's dealing with each of the different guys separately, and that's what kind of makes the ending kind of twist interesting as well. But anyway, so, take it or leave it. I didn't like it. Other people obviously might have a different opinion. It's not atrocious, but I'll pass on watching that ever again.
Did he unlock these different personalities because he unlocked memories?
Like it was kind of unintentional in his research to do the other thing. He made this happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking if we remember everything, if we could tap into that, we would be different people than what we are.
Yeah.
Because, there's a lot of stuff that we've forgotten for whatever reason. Yeah. So that's kind of interesting, I thought.
Kind of a side note, since you just mentioned that. Did you ever see Black Mirror? Have you ever watched Black Mirror, Mike?
Those are like
bunch of short stories.
Individual. Yeah, I've watched some of them. Yeah.
Did you see the one where people can actually carry their memory around and they can search their entire life for any given second and revisit that moment in their mind?
No, I didn't get to that one.
Oh man, that's a great episode. Check it out.
Like, and the way Karen described this one, exhausting. Some of those are exhausting to me because they just really push the envelope sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
But all right, I'll look for that.
All right, then I watched this movie called Expired. This has Hugo Weaving in it, better known as Red Skull, or better known as Mr. Smith, Mr. Smith, or better known as, what's the Lord of the Rings elf guy name? This guy's in everything. So I figured this would be good. This is actually from 2022 as well. This is a new flick. So I'm like, Hugo Weaving's in it. He's not hurting for money or to be a B actor or anything. So this is gonna be good stuff. Look at how cool that poster is too, right? This is still Amazon, Karen. Thank you for continuing to ask. Yeah, this is still Amazon, and the next one's Amazon too. They're all Amazon this week. Last of Us is the only one that's not going to be Amazon anymore. But anyway, if you're looking for this movie and this one pops up, don't be confused. They're the same movie. Okay. This is French. And it used to be called Loveland. And for some inexplicable reason, when it was released in the States, it's called Expired. And they should have kept it called Loveland, in my opinion.
Having not seen it, I think it's a more interesting title. Expired is a boring title to me.
Okay, fair enough. I think as far as the movie's concerned, both the titles are they've got purpose. I don't know why Loveland is a little bit more better, but for me, the reason Loveland's better is because this movie sets itself up. Okay, this is what happens in this one. This guy has a disease or something that's going to kill him, and if he doesn't figure out, he doesn't know what it is. If he doesn't, it's killing him. I think he's got 48 hours, and if he doesn't figure out what's killing him, he's going to die. Obviously, if he doesn't figure it out and stop it, of course. Hugo Weaving plays a doctor that is helping him figure out what's going on to survive. This has a real Blade Runner type wannabe feel to it. Like all the visuals in this are Blade Runner 101, in my opinion. I really enjoyed the visuals. And I also enjoyed the first 15 minutes of this And the biggest reason I didn't enjoy the latter hour and 15 minutes is because it was the same thing over and over again. A lot of not much dialogue to each other, but a lot of hearing people talk to themselves in their heads, and we're just hearing them kind of commentate their own. It's kind of this real odd, and it was kind of interesting at the beginning. I think they did that a little bit in Blade Runner too, didn't they? Where we heard Harrison Ford kind of narrating the situation as we're going around the city and stuff, you know?
Right. Yep.
So when that first happened in this one too, I'm like, oh, this is cool. And the main actor there, I don't know who he is, but his voice is good for that too. He's very deep, kind of, serious, kind of explaining character, and they talk very I was reading a review after I watched it, and they described it as it's unnecessarily poetic, like like they intentionally make all the dialogue be like deep and poetic like all the time, but it just gets kind of overdone in its own by itself in the same movie. But essentially I told you in general what happens. And the girl above his shoulder there, they're in Thailand, I believe, and he falls in love with her. And we actually find out Hugo Weaving. And I guess I should put up a spoiler alert for this. I'm gonna do it. Spoiler alert inbound. Give me 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes. We find out the disease he had, Hugo Weaving actually caused it when he was a young boy. And
but he's the one helping him figure it out too.
And the reason he's the one helping figure it out is because it was kind of an accidental thing when he was a young boy. Basically, what they did with young boys is they made them emotionless. They took away all their emotions, and as an experiment to make them better assassin. That old trope as well. And because that's the other thing too. This guy's a hitman. That's his profession. So. Which seems like it should be important, but it's really not important in this. He falls in love with this girl, this Thai girl, and we come to discover later that the reason he's dying is because whatever they did to him to make him have no emotions to be a good hitman, his body is rejecting it because he's falling in love with this Thai girl. So when Hugo Weaving decides, or first of all, he decides he wants to help him because he knows it was wrong for them to do that to all these boys. When he discovers that's what's going on with them, he tells them, hey, you can't see her anymore. You stop seeing her and you'll live. You continue to see her, you're going to die. So that's why I was saying Loveland is actually more appropriate because it kind of deals with their relationship more than him actually dying in this movie, But that's kind of interesting. I mean, the premise isn't bad. Plot isn't bad. He basically has to choose to love her for 2 days and die or lose the love of his, and he's kind of an awkward guy too. As you can imagine, he's been emotionless his entire life. He's kind of an awkward guy, so he doesn't know how to deal with actually having someone that wants to be with him. So he feels like this is his opportunity of a lifetime. It'll never happen again because she actually loves him too. But so if it's like he'd rather die than lose her. You know what I mean? And rather than survive and not have her, so it's a decent setup, but man, it's so slow and so dry. And last but not least about this, the ending, blue chunks. So this is a garbage movie. It was very slow and tough to get through to begin with, and the ending was a big letdown. Basically, one of the uneventful ending kind of things. It just stopped being. Like literally, when they cut to black at the end of the movie, I was expecting another scene.
Right, that's the worst.
Yeah. So anyway, I give this a generous 3, just because the plot is cool enough, I guess. I'm not a love story guy anyway, that's what happens the majority of this anyway. So
yeah, that lead actor. He was on True Blood. I don't know if anybody watched that. He was Anna Paquin's brother.
Oh, okay, no, I didn't watch that. No.
Yeah, we watched that. They're actually rebooting that.
I heard it got canned.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, even the show kind of it got less and less interesting as it went on.
We never finished it.
Seasons, yeah, same here. It got too. It's like, oh, really? The
Did
beginning.
you like that? Was he good in True Blood though?
He was, yeah. The character he played, yeah, he was. I think he was fit for that character. Yeah.
Cool.
It was a good show.
I was surprised at this role with Hugo Weaving too. It was kind of a side role to begin with. Very little screen time. You know, it's kind of like, what are you doing here, man? You know. But anyway, then lastly, before we get to the main attraction for the week, I watched this movie, Proximity, and this one, I'm gonna say this about this is from 2020, and this is one that just came on when I didn't touch the control. You know how I've said this a bunch of times, Joe. When I'm just watching something, I'm doing stuff, I don't touch the controller, and this is the next one that came on. This one actually grabbed me pretty quick.
Do we need a spoiler alert up still?
Oh, crap. Thanks, Mike. All right. Sorry, anybody. I gave that movie expired for anybody that was checking out because of the spoiler. I gave it a 2 or a generous 3 because the plot was interesting, but the movie overall was not. So anyway, then Proximity. Just explain the story in this one real quick. This kid gets abducted by aliens. The main kid in the background there. Again, I don't recognize any actors and actresses in this movie either. But the main kid gets abducted by aliens, and he actually catches it on video. This kind of has a feel like it takes place in like the 80s. He's still carrying around the big, bulky, VHS type camera. Actually, I guess it would have to be maybe the late 90s. I don't know, when people still had bulky cameras, but he had the internet too. He could upload it on the internet, So.
Yeah, actually, some of those cameras like that are Bluetooth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, he actually is filming when he gets abducted. So he catches the abduction in his video. He tries to show people, no one's believing him. So then he decides to upload it on the internet. And then, of course, it's 50-50. Half the world's like, oh, this is awesome. I can't believe aliens are real. And the other half is like, man, this is totally edited trash. This is the worst edited job I've ever seen ever. And no one believes him. So then his life kind of goes into this tailspin because, the news is after him, and the news kind of sets him up as they want to ask him questions because they're taking him seriously. Then he goes on the news and they mock him for being an idiot, So he's on this trajectory of he doesn't know what to do with his life because he knows, obviously, he was literally abducted by aliens, and the world is just gotten crazier since it's happened. So he doesn't know what to do with himself. So he finds actually a couple other people that were also abducted by aliens, which is the lady in the middle of his face, in the middle of his left ear, and the guy on the top there. Who's that guy in the middle? Oh, man, I can't believe he's in the poster. You see right there above the girl in the middle?
Justin Timberlake.
That's Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He actually has a small cameo in this, which was a very interesting event. I can't believe it's in the poster. But anyway, because it was literally a very minimal part of the movie. Then the guy on the top there, at the top of his head on the poster, is this guy that has not only been abducted by aliens, but he's made some progress in contacting aliens. And long story short, he actually proves he was abducted. Now the government wants him because
they do.
Because he actually was abducted, so they want to study him. They want to know everything he saw and heard and blah, blah, blah. He wants to have nothing to do with that either. So him and the girl in the middle decide they're going to go find the guy at the top and help him contact aliens so they can, because their arms hurt and they have these weird dreams. So they want to kind of get answers to make these things stop. So the guy at the top of the poster actually with some information that the girl and the boy bring to him, is able to contact the aliens, and they're coming back, and they tell him exactly where they're coming and what time they're coming. So then they actually sit down around this table, and the three of them and two aliens have a chat. And they have a lot of questions for the aliens. They find out their arms are hurt because the aliens put a tracker in them and all this, that, and the other. And then they ask the aliens why us? Why are you doing this to us? Why are you studying us? And the aliens are like, because human beings have an aura in them that is so strong and unlike any other being in the universe. And guess what that aura is? I kind of gave a teaser about this away already.
Your soul.
Yeah, you're like your soul, your Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is in you. And the only question the alien has, and they actually put up a picture of Jesus Christ, and they ask, "Who is this? And what is this guy about?" So it becomes very religious for like literally like a split second, like maybe not literally. I said literally, like 2 minutes maybe, like very short conversation about Christ. Then the government swoops in. Right as they're chatting, a cool action ending happens, and it's over. This is really slow movie. I feel like it could have been a lot shorter. There was a lot of retread of when people are believing him or not believing him, and the government's not believing him. The government's after him, and it's not very actiony. It's more of a stealthy kind of thing. So it's very slow in that regard as well. But I did like the ending of this a lot. I was reading a lot of hate on the internet about the appearance of Jesus in this movie, which I don't get. You don't want to believe in Jesus, that's one thing, but people that actually hate anything that he's in, even if it was a split second, I don't get that at all. But
also it's part of, it seems like it's part of the storyline. If you take him out, then
it's definitely not like this religious preachy movie. This isn't going to be on some Christian movie channel. Well, I don't know. They might, because Jesus is in it in general, but yeah, this is not a preachy religious. This is a sci-fi movie through and through, besides for 1 minute about a conversation about Jesus, And I thought that was pretty interesting concept too, that the aliens would be interested in that, so anyway, I'd never, nothing like that I've never seen it before. So I give this a solid 7, and that's because of a quality ending, in my opinion. I would probably give this 5.5, maybe 5 throughout, because it's very slow and just not a lot happening for a while. But I give it a 7 because of a real cool ending. I won't give that away at all, but the ending is definitely cool, So check it out. Mike, put it on the list.
I have minor premise, Max Cloud.
No, minor premise sucks. Take that off the list.
Well, I want to watch the trailer for it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. All right, and then lastly, we want to talk about the latest episode of Last of Us, right?
Yeah, we're caught up. Are you caught up, Patrick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Since that's great to hear. I've obviously been talking for a long time. Do you want to go first? What do you think, Mike?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, after hearing what you thought of what episode is this? 6?
Yeah.
After hearing what you thought of episode 5 and 4, I loved this episode. I thought it was really great. And after it was over, I was like, oh boy, I can't wait to hear what Kevin thinks of this one, because we're watching this and you want to see the monsters, the zombies, whatever kind of creatures people turn into. And they weren't here. But I think this leads into it. A lot of people don't like to parallel this with The Walking Dead, but it has some. And in this episode, we see where they have to be more afraid of other people than the monsters that are out there when you get to the end.
Yeah.
So
did you like it?
I liked it. I thought it moved the story along nicely. I liked the new characters that we were introduced to. It was winter, so as soon as we see that winter scene, Emily goes, "Well, you're gonna love this," and she,
yeah.
So I thought it was really good.
There's another True Blood connection.
What?
Oh yeah. What's her name? Tara.
Joel's brother's fiance wife was from True Blood.
True
Oh,
Blood.
yeah,
She
okay.
played Tara in True Blood. Yeah.
All right, Patrick, what say you?
I pretty much echo what Mike said. I thought it was a really good, strong episode. Again, more development between Joel and Ellie. I mean, you know, it's you finally it reached sort of the breaking point where he was trying to deny, you know, the feelings, you know, the fatherly feelings he's, you know, developing towards Ellie, and he's trying to shove him out, but realized that he was wrong. It was another strong episode, I thought.
All right, that's awesome.
I like where you know something that she doesn't. You know, we know about his past with his daughter, and she doesn't. So she's going around assuming that he, you know, doesn't know what it's like, and can't relate as that father figure. And then, you know, she finds out, and it's kind of, I love when stuff like that happens. So now she's kind of, she knows what we know, and it changes her, the way she views him. And this episode did that really well. It wasn't one of those just like, oh, for convenience sake, this is how we're going to reveal it. The way it was done, I thought it was great.
It's another guest star was Northern Exposure cameos with the couple that they found in the wilderness out there, which I thought was pretty neat.
Wow. I loved them. I've never watched Northern Exposure.
You should.
It sounds like I should. Because those two, the dynamics between the husband and wife, I thought was fantastic.
That was really good. Really good. Yep.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, so it sounds like, let me write that down, Northern Exposure. I'm aware of that show, but I never got around to watching it.
Yeah, you probably had more pressing things in your life at that point in time.
Yeah. So,
all right, it's my turn.
Uh-oh.
All right, I want to start my review of episode 6 of The Last of Us by going back to Wakanda Forever.
Oh, no.
Here's what I have to say. And
wait, it sounds like I might like Wakanda Forever.
maybe, I don't know. I have Pat to thank for this, or the audience. I told the audience we wouldn't bring up Wakanda Forever again. Did you watch it this week, Mike? No, apparently not. I told the audience.
I have a reason. I have a reason why, and I'll get to it after this.
Okay. I told the audience we weren't going to revisit Wakanda Forever again. And I'm sorry I lied, because so we have Pat to thank for that. And the reason being, and I mentioned this, that Johnny used to do this for me, you know, kind of talk me off a ledge, whatever you want to call it, get me to backpedal or whatever. So I brought up Wakanda Forever because I want to backpedal a little bit. Okay. I don't know what gets me, you know, the way I am sometimes, but I still don't like this movie. I still don't recommend it. I still think it's way too slow. But what I'm going to backpedal on, what I'm saying I'm going to thank Pat for, is because I feel the way I feel about Wakanda Forever just because that's not what I was expecting. But if you're fine with what Wakanda Forever, and Mike from New York was also mentioning as well, this is more about, you know, Shuri and the emotions wrapped around losing Black Panther and stuff like that than it was about Namor and, you know, any other adventure. If you're in it for that and you're fine with that, you'd probably like Wakanda Forever. I wasn't. That's not what I was in it for. That's why I still don't like it. But I was harsh. Obviously, I said it's like 97% trash or something like that. You know, if you're into those kind of emotional feelings stuff, if that's what you're prepared for when you're watching this, I guess you'd like it as much as Pat and Karen liked it as well. And then that brings me back to Last of Us episode 6. Yes, I did not like this episode at all. But the reason I'm backpedaling and reminded by what Pat said to make me do that on Wakanda Forever is because he also is making me backpedal a little bit on Last of Us being like that. And obviously you're kind of jumping onto that too, Mike. I mean, if you're in for this kind of character developing, growth story of relationship in this, post-apocalyptic world, whatever you want to call it, you'll like Last of Us. If you're into it for any kind of action, or especially the zombies, and just to correct you a little bit, Mike, you said, I want to see zombies and stuff. I do want to see them, but I was fine partially with episode 5 because, and the most action-packed part of that involved people as much as zombies. So I just want some action and something to be happening during this growth. Okay, so Lost It to Bostic says, I wasn't a big fan of Wakanda Forever. It was darker than a Snyderverse film. Okay. Bostic's review. Thank you, Bostic. Appreciate it. But I can appreciate this was good. This is just not what I want. Let me ask you both this. If you didn't play the video game either, Mike or Pat, right?
No.
Yeah. No. If this show was a video game, this wouldn't be a show. Okay, in my opinion. I guarantee you all this same stuff. Yeah, that's what I took you meant, Bostic, that it was visually dark. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. But do you guys feel what I'm saying there? Like, I feel like everything we're accomplishing in Last of Us with all of the emotional relationship growth stuff that's happening with nothing else. If that were the video game, this show wouldn't exist, in my opinion. The video game has all this same stuff with action sequence, whether it be, Joel shooting out the window to save her against zombies, or, fighting off some other, ruffians that are trying to steal their stuff or whatever. I guarantee you in the video game, that kind of thing happens more regularly than that happens in this show. Would you guys concede that that's probably the way it is?
Yeah.
So that's my point, is if the video game was like this show, the show wouldn't exist because the video game wouldn't be that popular. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get my brother.
What?
I'm going to have to get my brother's opinion on this, because I think he says this is his favorite video game ever. And he was anticipating this show, so I'd be curious to see what he thinks about it.
Yeah, I think unfortunately the three of us have never played the game, so there's other opinions that could be
bring him. I'd love to have him as a guest host for even if he's got 10 minutes he can come in. I'd love to hear someone who loved this game so much what they think of the show as well, And even if they like the show, like, it's obviously possible for the game and the show to be different and still like both. That might be the thing too. But I'm just interested to hear, I can't imagine that video game came off as a kind of action-packed fighting zombies, fighting,
Yeah, I'm not so sure it's that though, Kevin. I think it's more of like an adventure type game with, action elements thrown in.
Okay, yeah, I'd believe that too. Okay, yeah, I'd believe that. But I just believe if it were as slow as this show, I can't imagine it being a popular video game. That's basically what I'm saying.
I get your viewpoint.
Yeah. So again, backpedaling a little bit. I didn't like this episode either. So I liked 1 and 2 and 5 so far, And the difference between 1 and 2 and 5 and 3, 4, and 6 is that they have elements of some kind of exciting thing happening, as well as this emotional, story-driven, growth relationship thing. But 3, 4, and 6 are lacking those almost entirely, obviously, until the very end of 6, of course, which obviously didn't last very long, but that's a cliffhanger, obviously.
Yeah. I liked it. Emily liked it. I mean, Emily liked it so much she couldn't wait to watch the next episode.
Well, I definitely couldn't wait either, just because, obviously what happened at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely still going to check it out. But yeah, I almost dozed off like 3 or 4 times. So if that's your cup of tea, and here's the other thing too. Here's the other thing too. That's my cup of tea sometimes too. You know, I can get into. Perfect example. We just watched All's Quiet on the Western Front. Have you guys seen that?
Oh, the remake? Like
Yeah.
the new version? Not yet. I really want to watch that.
I didn't know there was a remake.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Oh,
It looked. My brother-in-law said it was good.
it is a heavy heartbreaker, man. It is definitely good, but I'll never watch it again. That's for sure.
Well, I can't wait to watch it now.
Yeah, and the reason I brought that up is obviously that's not geek culture, but that's very slow, emotional ride. And
I get what you're saying. I mean, you knew that's what you were getting into.
Yeah.
Last of Us, you're like, okay, these are my expectations.
Right.
And it's just not anything. So this is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Adjust your expectations now that we're.
I don't like these. I don't like that kind of thing in general, though. Like I said, I can be in a mood for it.
Yeah.
But if I'm choosing something to entertain myself with, I don't want to be emotionally driven. I don't like to feel those things, you know. I want to be, kick his butt, whatever, you know. I want to be all like, this is exciting, fun, this is amazing, this is mesmerizing, action, that's great special effects, all that great stuff, or that's scary, whatever. But this whole drama is my third favorite, fourth favorite, fifth favorite genre.
Yeah, I love slow burn movies. I think they're great. But now since we've talked about this, the reason that I haven't watched Wakanda Forever is because every waking moment that we have where we have a good half an hour to watch something, we're watching Avenue 5 because it's the funniest thing I think I've ever seen.
I couldn't be happier that you love it, man.
I mean, oh my gosh. We watched, I think, a few episodes, and Emily texted her brother, Jim, because she's like, this is right up his alley. And he did what you did. He just watched it all, and he loves it. And there are things that Josh Gad says in that I tear up. I'm laughing so hard. I have to say, pause it. I haven't had that since Parks and Rec. Like, you've got to pause this. I need to process what he just said. It's you also have to really appreciate that kind of humor.
Yeah.
Because it's just layered and layered and layered.
You know who's not loving that show?
Uh-oh.
This guy.
You watched it too?
We started watching it. I think we watched maybe 4 or 5 episodes. I've heard the second season is a lot better.
Yeah, we're in the second season now.
And by the way, it was canceled, unfortunately.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
You never know, though. With shows like that, it could be picked up by another network.
Yeah. So let's interrupt this real quick. I got more to say about that, Mike. Bostic says he liked The Last of Us, or he likes The Last of Us so far. He thinks it's trying to be different or differentiate itself from The Walking Dead by focusing more on the 20 years the survivors have had to live in this post-apocalypse. Okay. It's kind of a different take, even a side thing apart from the relationship between Joel and what's her name. Anyway, I'm shocked you say that, Pat. I would have thought you'd have liked it as well.
I think comparing it to The Office is a huge disservice.
I think he was doing that because of the actors.
Just because the actors, it wasn't it wasn't like a similarity reference. That's why I just made that joke. Because is there 2 or is there 3 Office people in it?
Just 2, I think.
Just 2.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
Kyle Borehammer, he was Pam's sort of temporary boyfriend. He was on there real quick. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that was the only reference to The Office.
Yeah.
It's totally different kind of comedy. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I didn't make that clear enough.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Josh Gad he grates on my nerves. I don't.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Well, I can definitely see how you don't enjoy it if you feel that way about him. Yeah.
I mean, Emily's favorite part is when he screams for Iris, and she's like right here. Iris! And she's right there, and it's at that high.
Don't take Pat back to that moment. He just said it grates on his nerves. Don't do that.
Sorry.
It's like Gabe. Gabe on The Office was good because he was so weird and oddball. And I think he's trying too hard to be odd and weird on this show, and it's like, I don't know.
Oh, I took it the exact same way. I took him pretty much the exact same character from The Office. His personality is the same. What do you think of that, Mike? As far as
very, very similar. I think here he's a little more vocal with it. Before he was kind of quiet about it. Now he's more in forefront. But yeah, we're loving it. Oh my gosh, it's just.
Well, that's good to have here. Then I'm sorry, Pat, and that's awesome to hear. I love when you gotta love when people you recommend stuff to people when they love it. That's for sure. That's the payoff. Everybody, just to let you know, that's the payoff for what Kevin watched. If you like it, please let us know in the comments, like Bostic just did, chiming in on both Wakanda and Last of Us. I especially appreciate the feedback on that.
Yeah. And the comedy is like you say, bad things kept happening, and it's bad stuff you would never even think. Like where we are, they just got to that other space station, to get some help with the eels.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say. But whenever after that episode, you're just going, really?
I thought
Who thought of that?
One of the funniest bits was when the shield.
The poop shield.
I thought one of the funniest bits, but in retrospect, was one of the stupidest bits. Was that when he was going out in the airlock and he wanted to know how to operate it, the video came up of him with the instructions. I thought that was funny, but in retrospect, it made no sense whatsoever. Given that, why would anybody need his instruction?
I take that as the whole point of everything that happens in it, though. It's like none of it really makes any sense.
And then why would they send him out when they have certainly more qualified people,
less important people?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe I'm trying to think too much.
I don't know if there's that qualified people though. Everybody's actors except for the skeleton crew, right?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely. I just thought it was. I'm like Mike. I was laughing so much I had to pause it to get over myself to keep going.
So that's why I think I even looked to see does this show get any better? Because should I stick with it? And that's why I saw it. People do say it found its footing. All shows do that. They find their footing after they get going. But I don't know. We'll probably continue. I don't know if Chelsea's really enjoying it either. So. We'll see.
Well, if Chelsea's not joining, that makes it easier for you. Then you don't have to coordinate. You can just watch it whenever.
Yeah.
I thought when we started the second season, the first episode, I was a little worried because I didn't find it as funny right away, and I was worried that it kind of lost a step on the second season. But then as it started going, it just kind of picked up where it left off and kept going. So, but it's not for everybody. It's
definitely not for everybody. Yeah. Definitely, aside for not for everybody, obviously we got an everybody in here that it's not for apparently, but especially no kids.
Definitely no kids.
All right, Karen, you should turn that up just another hair.
Speaking of Karen, that's another character I can't stand, which I understand you're not supposed to like her.
Yeah.
But that didn't make any sense how much Hugh Laurie couldn't stand her, but then he wanted to get her to be, the liaison between the.
Well, because even though she's so unlikable to us, which I think is the intent, excuse me, she was very effective in getting the crew to do what she wanted, though, at least. And I think that's what he was after, right?
But he was like trying to avoid her, didn't want to have any contact, but then he made it so he would have to interact with her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he was willing to swall that pill to have control of the crew. Yeah.
It's like the lesser of two evils here almost. It's like,
right.
I want this to happen, but all right, I'll deal with this to have this.
The lesser of two Evers. Yep.
Evers.
Yeah.
As I was
that's
saying,
a little better, Karen. That's good.
I was realizing that that's not the proper use of it.
I do that all the time. I'm just glad Kevin hasn't pointed it out that often. So.
Yeah.
My boys, they do that constantly. I don't like to be too obnoxious with it, but
they do it all the time.
They constant. You can't get one little slip by them without talking about it for 10 minutes about how stupid you are.
Yeah.
All right, that was it for what Kevin watched. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, audience. Man, I was thinking I'd have what Kevin watched that long last time because we were off for 2 weeks, but sorry about it. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then now we're moving on to Mike's cooler segment that everyone loves. You ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. All right. What do we got?
All right. Pick 3.
Oh, I'm glad you put this up, Mike. I totally forgot about it.
Yeah.
Especially with cover combat, you don't think about it. Yeah, at all.
Yeah. This was a great week. And I even got a message from Johnny that he was really excited about this one. He liked this. Yeah, I had fun with these. I think I had no difficulty in picking some great covers. And we'll start with Batman Audio Adventures number 5, Dave Johnson. And I wish I'm getting this book, but I haven't been. I think this is volume 2, right, Patrick?
I think so. Yeah.
Do you know if this is has any relationship to the podcast? You know, there's a podcast, Batman Audio Adventures.
I think it might, Kevin. I'm not 100% either, though.
Yeah, I think it might. They did that with Wolverine. I
remember that.
Night.
Yeah,
and that was great. I actually listened to the podcast for that too, and it was good. I loved both of them.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Hallows Eve number 1 by Art Germ, Venom 17, Dan Panosian, Spider-Man 6, Carlos Gomez. Now this one I threw up there also, kind of interesting to get Kevin's take on it because she's upside down, but she's not upside down. Oh, I don't know.
So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's like he wrote.
This looks like a Patrick edit, right?
It's not though.
That is the real cover. Next up, Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones number 1 by Greg Land, Magic the Gathering 24, Miguel Marcado, Batman Gotham Knights 5. That's the video game variant. So there's no artist on that. I think that's taken straight from the video game.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
That's the conclusion I've come to because I couldn't find an artist. And if you look on, DC puts the artist's name down on the cover. They print it on there, and here it just says video game. So, this one, I Am Iron Man number 1 by Pete Woods. This grew on me the more I looked at it.
That's me too.
Yeah,
I had the opposite effect. Sorry about it.
How are the 3 of us friends?
Well, that's what I told you many times. I love about our group. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Another one I love, Joe Fixit number 1, the second printing. Oh boy, Yildari Sinar. I butchered that, I'm sure. And then Stargirl, The Lost Children number 4, Todd Knock. I always say Nyuk. Nyuk. Anyway. And I think that one's so great because she's reading a comic book and it's the Flash, and it's just I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I love those kind of covers as well. Yeah.
So this was good. We had no ties here. It was clear-cut winners, but it was close. They were all one away from each other.
Okay.
All right, and we're going to start with the third place book with this surprised me that this one came in third. I thought it would be first, and it is Hallows Eve by Art Germ.
I would have predicted this first as well.
Yep. When I first saw this, I showed Mark and I said, but I guarantee this is going to be win pick 3 the week it comes out.
Oh, geez.
And it didn't. Lucky for me, he forgot that I said that.
Well, the covers are definitely getting me to get this book. That's for sure. And that's thanks to you doing the. I think you covered this on Be on the Lookout, didn't you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I still need to update that.
Yeah.
You reminded me once. All right. Next up is number 2. I was surprised that this one did as well as it did, but I'm glad that it did.
Don't do it to me. Okay.
Magic the Gathering 24.
There's only one I hate that you picked. But anyway, I love this one too. I am 2 for 2 so far.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm a big Nicol Bolas fan. Man, I love this cover. This is so good.
Yeah, I always look at the Magic books and you know they're always good. This one I think it really stood out, and I know that you and Tyler are big fans.
Yeah.
So I figured you guys would like this as well as others in the group because it is really good.
What do you think of this one, Pat? Don't like it?
I just don't have a reference for it.
Oh, gotcha.
Did you say Nicol Bolas? Is that the dragony guy?
Yeah, Nicol Bolas is that dragon's name. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kevin uses them.
Yeah.
All right, and coming.
I have one. Sorry, I have one Magic Pop, and it's Nicol Bolas too.
Yeah.
Pat. Yeah.
All right, Karen, let her rip.
Do it again.
Coming in at number 1, we have. Do I have to find it? There it is. Batman Audio Adventures number 5, Dave Johnson.
Wow, I'm shocked.
I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yep.
This is a good cover. I didn't pick this one. This is definitely a good cover. I'm just shocked it's number 1.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the more I look at this one, I love Dave Johnson. I know Patrick is a big fan of his as well. The thing that I can't get past, and maybe he did it on purpose, but the hand on the clock, it almost looks like it's Batman's, like he's holding up that sword if you just look at it quickly.
Oh, yeah. I actually had to look at that. I thought it was some kind of like it was a Doc Ock thing where he was like, he have some mechanical sword behind. Yeah. That's exactly what I thought as well until I realized it's the.
So if I was the editor or anything or had anything, I'd say, Dave, come on, can you just move that? And I wonder if, whenever they submit the covers, if there's much pushback or much recommendations on things. Because, you want to kind of let the artist be as free as they can with it and not criticize stuff. But that just really stands out to me. But it's still a great cover. And I voted for it.
So I would have definitely thought Hallows' Eve would have been number 1. 8 of the other 9 I would have thought would have been interchangeable between 2 and 3 pretty much. There's only one that I hated. Which one is it?
Well, normally I would say Spider-Man. Do you have one that you would hate, Patrick?
I didn't like the video game cover.
Oh, wow. No. Mine is Venom, man. What is going on with his wonky teeth?
Yeah,
have you ever seen Venom with wonky teeth before?
Yeah, he always has doesn't he? That's one of my least favorite ones as well.
Yeah, not a big fan of that one myself. At least he kept his tongue in his mouth.
Yeah. I think that's probably why I was like, oh, looky here.
And my final announcement is I'm apparently not bothered by everything else being upside down, only characters.
Just characters, yeah.
Because I'm fine with that Spider-Man. I thought it was cool. I almost picked it.
That's it's stated Carlos Gomez. That's for a long time that mystery artist that down, Kevin, that did all the Avengers artwork.
Oh, really? Okay.
I remember that,
Yeah. My third pick was the Shadow Clones. I feel like they're kind of playing out that pose for Spider-Gwen a little bit too much. I've seen a whole lot of covers exactly like that, but with differences in the background and different outfits, of course. But but that was my third pick. What was how'd you guys do?
I got 2 out of 3.
What did I have? 1, 2. Yeah, I got 2 out of 3.
What was your third ones you didn't pick then? That's perfect.
Stargirl.
Okay. Mike?
Yeah. Hold on. I've looked at so many covers and so much stuff. I can't remember what I picked.
Yeah.
Time to time. Let me find my worksheet. So I like to keep all this together.
Yeah.
What was my other one?
While Mike's looking, just so everyone knows out there, I voted for Archer.
You voted
yeah.
okay. Okay. Yeah, Stargirl was mine as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it was me, Cora, and Patrick picked Stargirl.
Yeah, that's definitely a good cover too. Just the like I said, as much as I'm almost over that Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones look, I still like it a lot. Do you guys have any of those issues? I have 2 or 3.
No.
It's up there?
The variant covers that have
no.
all been of Spider-Gwen like that.
No. I was gonna say, are either of you reading Joe Fixit or getting Joe Fixit?
No, I passed.
I passed too, and I'm like, dang it, I wish I wouldn't have. So I think it's a miniseries. I want to read it now.
Yeah, it's another setup with Peter David.
Yeah,
where I think depending on sales, they'll let him keep doing those as long as they're warranted.
They're selling. Yeah,
or depending on his health, because I don't know how he's doing these days.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything new.
Neither have I.
What's making you in general change your tune on wanting to get it now when you passed on it already, Mike? Something happened, or did you hear something?
Well, no, initially I saw it and like, oh, that looks pretty interesting. I might get that. And then I didn't. And then I saw this second printing and I like that cover. Like, man, that looks cool. A Hulk in a suit.
Yeah.
So, so then I'm like, I should have just grabbed it. But it's usually I try to make cuts because, like everybody, I spend too much money on it. So
Yeah, definitely. It's too much to get. Yeah, definitely.
So
that's awesome, though. I'm going to say this again too, and I finally made it by the LCS again. So I made it 2 weeks in a row, and man, every single pick 3 of yours influences me. I just want to grab, I'm like, oh, I know that, from our pick 3 top 10, and I just want to grab it.
It's that recognition. Like, I know that cover.
Yeah, give me that.
Yeah, I haven't been in probably a month.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be heavy.
Your box was fat. I saw it when I was there last year.
Well,
that's why. Sorry.
I'm going to say this is how many's in there. This is what I actually get. I guarantee you there's going to be some X-Men books in there. I don't get X-Men books.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to make it every week because I only had 3 books in there that, so
yeah.
If you get them every week, they're easier to swallow. That's for sure. So,
yeah.
Awesome job, Mike. Appreciate it. Definitely a lot. Speaking of you, Mike, are you ready for the comic book review?
Yeah, I like that switch.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Mike, you're first.
All right. One thing that I noticed, I noticed this a while back on our introduction videos, the way Patrick and I have a nice gray going on. You need to catch up. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know why I'm so blessed with, I've got maybe 2 or 3, but not much. I still hold my color.
Yeah.
I'm still holding my color and holding my hairline,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, where I do have some, it's still a little bit, but that gray's creeping up there. So.
If I let my goatee and my beard grow out, which isn't much, I can't do it anywhere remotely close to even thinking about possibly touching as long as your guys' beard is. But if it grows out just a little bit, my grays start to go there. So if I could grow a beard, my beard would be gray.
Great.
That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So you're first, Mike. What'd you read?
Well, I read, and this was, let me just say, you guys know about this book because I shared it on our private page. I got this in the mail, Silver Surfer Ghostlight, and the post office did a job on it.
Yeah, they did.
That was shipped in a really lightweight cardboard mailer, which I've received books like that before, and they're safe. The post office really destroyed this one. It was bent, it was wrinkled, it was wet, it just sucked. So, but it did make for a relaxing read because
Yeah.
I didn't care if I crease it. This book has 5 or 6 heavy creases in the spine, dents in the cover. So for the first time in a long time, I read a comic book and I didn't care how I was holding it. So
Did you pull a Star Girl?
Yeah, that was relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading it like her.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is number 1. Since it came in the mail, obviously it came out a while ago. Came out February 1st, so I'm a little bit behind. Number 2, I think it's number 2. Oh boy, yeah, I think number 2 comes out on the 8th. So we have a little over a week for number 2 to come out. It's written by John Jennings, artist Valentine Delandro. The artwork is it's good. I mean, its storytelling's good. It doesn't blow me away. I mean, it does its job. There's just some pages here. You can see how it looks. This was my favorite. The double spread right here was pretty cool, where we get to see Silver Surfer. Very simple, but so the art isn't going to blow you away. The art isn't a reason to buy the book. But basically, we've got a girl. Her name's Tony, and her family, which is her mom, dad, her younger brother, and her grandmother. They move into their uncle's house, and he's been missing for 10 years. And he's recently been declared dead because he's been gone, and can't find him. Tony, the girl, she begins having these reoccurring dreams of a shining man and a clearing in the woods. And that's the gist of it. Her and her brother end up kind of exploring the house and the shed and stuff like that. But it's a 30-page book, 21 pages before we see the Silver Surfer, and that's that spread right there, which is kind of cool. But he has one line, and then we get back to just more of this. 27 pages before any other action happens. So there's a lot of storytelling here, unlike The Last of Us, where I enjoyed that storytelling. It's just it's good, but it's just too much. I guess he's laying the groundwork and stuff like that. And then some of the dialogue, it just seems forced, and it's not natural conversation, where they're trying to explain to you, who people are, who the like when they're talking to their cousin, they refer to him as cousin, and that stuff just really feels unnatural to me. When you talk to your aunt, it's aunt this or aunt that or uncle, Uncle Joe or something like that. But my cousins are Rich. I don't say cousin Rich. Maybe some families do. It just felt really forced. So it was a lot of reading for not much payoff. So I have it marked down as a get it because of its potential. Issue 2 could potentially be much better with, we get a little more of the Silver Surfer shows up again on the last page. We get introduced to this Ghostlight character, stuff like that. So there's potential there. But we'll have to see. If you're stretching your budget, I would probably say forget it. So I was a little.
Well, you said this is the key, right?
Well, because it's a first appearance of this Ghostlight character.
Uh-huh.
So but that's the thing, it's one of those in the speculators market. It's a key because
it's
the first appearance of this new character.
Appearance. Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. If the character turns out to be a dud and used here and not used elsewhere, it could kind of fall by the wayside. That's why I'm saying there's some potential here. So if you have the money in your budget, and you're looking to be adventurous, pick it up, see where it goes. But other than that, I was a little disappointed in it.
When do you see Ghostlight?
Page 30, or no, page 27.
Is it a 299 300 situation?
No, well, you see him. He's on the cover,
right?
But you see in her dream, he's the how she referred to it, the shining man. So you see him early on in the dream of Tony, but then actually within the book, within the timeline of the book, he's on page 27 out of 30 pages. And the rest of the pages outside of that double spread is just this
conversations and stuff. Got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
all right, Pat. How about you?
Yeah. So I read the first 4 issues of the next installment in the Boneyard Mythos, 10,000 Black Feathers.
Ah, okay.
Pat's reading it, so I don't have to.
Can't wait to hear this.
You're going to want to read it, I think, Mike.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I read 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. This is the new universe being set up by Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrento. We had talked about the Passageway before, the standalone graphic novel that dealt with the mysterious goings on at a lighthouse. And there was also a free comic book day issue. Just all kinds of weirdness. And this I debated when this was solicited. I was like, should I just wait for the trade or some kind of collection or get the monthlies? I ultimately went for the monthly issues. I don't regret that, but I think probably the better choice would have been just to get the trade paperback, especially since, the first one was a hardback standalone graphic novel. It'd be nice to just have them as collections, I think. This is a story about a child from the foster care system. She moves into this new city. The city is Hamilton. And she's, early teens, I'd say, maybe even a little younger than that. And she strikes up a friendship with a girl on the playground named Jackie. And they bond over their love of fantasy novels and gaming. And it's sort of like a coming of age story. It sort of jumps here and there, dealing with the growth of their friendship. And Sorrentino, I'm sorry, I keep getting his name wrong. He, if you're familiar with his work at all, and even the previous entries into this Boneyard Mythos, he has, a very distinctive sort of photo referenced style. Which you see on display. I pulled up. Last minute I grabbed some pages from the issue, and that's more typical of his work. I think it's at least that's what I'm used to, as far as the other installments from this Boneyard Mythos.
When he did Gideon's Falls, it was very similar to this as well.
Okay. That's I have to read. Did you read that, Mike? Did you read Gideon's Falls?
No, I did not read it.
Yeah, I picked it up. I think I got a bunch of them in like the dollar sale. I gotta read that. Okay. But he does a very interesting thing here, which shows he's more than just. I don't want to say more than just, because I know a lot of people get hung up on the photo referencing, maybe even digital manipulation of backgrounds and so forth. But he shows his chops as a traditional artist, because the flashback scenes are drawn in a more traditional style like this. Totally different than the rest of the book and his style, and they're very well done. So you kind of see the past in this style, in the flashback style, and then it jumps back and forth between that and present day. And what's happening here is something happened to Jackie along the way, and she's coming back to her hometown. For the first time in 10 years after something happened to Jackie. They don't really tell you at first what happened. She went on to become a successful author, but she's having a little bit of writer's block, and we find out that she's being plagued by some kind of inner dialogue. It's sort of, it goes back and forth between her thoughts and something more sinister. And so as children, Jackie and Trish, because they both sort of loved the same things, they started writing this story together. They started working on this sort of background to this, mystic land, creating all the characters, creating all the enemies. And it appears now that perhaps this mythological universe is colliding with the real universe. You're not sure of that. Is it all in Trisha's head, or is this really happening? So the mystery sort of begins to devolve throughout these 4 issues. It's a 5-issue series. I don't have the 5th issue yet. I'm sure that's going to be probably a big reveal issue. But everything so far, is very well done. Jeff Lemire, I mean, I don't think anybody does these kind of, small personal stories better than he does. And you immediately become engaged with the characters. And, it's, like I said, it's sort of a coming of age story overlaid with this sinister, who knows what's going on. If you read any of the other Boneyard mythos, it's just weirdness. And you don't know if these things are actually happening to the characters, or this is all in their mind, or a combination of the both. It's sort of got that, you can definitely see that they're tied together, because all the imagery is sort of, that stark, sort of flat colors, the browns, the blacks, the grays. And when you get into the supernatural elements, the characters are wearing masks and there's red highlights. So it definitely feels like it's in that same universe, even though at this point, I don't think anybody can guess what's really going on here. So yeah, I maybe would have preferred to wait and just get the whole collection at one time, because it reads fast too. But it's a definite get it. It's just your mileage may vary on whether you collect the single issues, you just get the collection.
What's the 10,000 Black Feathers reference?
Well, as the main antagonist in the girl's story is sort of this crow god, and you assume that the feathers are tied, to this enemy in their story, and that enemy sort of, like I said, appears to be bleeding into real life as the story goes on. And when she's hearing these thoughts in her head, it seems to be this crow god, and the imagery is these feathers falling when she starts to hear these voices in her head or in reality. You just don't know yet.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think a lot of Jeff Lemire's books like this are better consumed in trade paperback form than the single issues, just the way his storytelling style.
Yeah, I think I've made that decision from here on out, and especially in this the Boneyard mythos, I will probably just defer to get the collections, and it'd be nice. I know this was already solicited, I think, as a trade paperback, but it would be nice to just have them as a series of hardcover graphic novels. But I don't. Yeah, we'll see. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm glad that I haven't read it yet. I'll wait until I have all of them to.
So what's your overall rating then, Pat?
That's definitely, like I say, it's a get it. Okay. It's just whether you prefer to get it as a collection or the individual issues. Yeah.
Okay. And you saying you're an undecided on that Silver Surfer right now, Mike, because of
I was if you
You
have
said
it
you
in
will
your
get it, but then you said you kind of backpedaled a little bit.
yeah, if you have it in your budget, it's a get it because it has potential. But if you're kind of pinching pennies, then I would pass on it. Don't take the chance on it. Kind of
Gotcha.
trade wait, wait for the trade to see if it turns out to be good. So yeah, ultimately I would probably say it's a forget it because it's a gamble on what happens in issue 2 if it pays off.
So at least stay tuned. And so you're gonna check out too, because you probably already have it ordered, right?
Yeah.
Are
Well,
you gonna read
Xcellar has it ordered. I only ordered number 1 for myself.
it?
Xcellar has number 1 and 2. I figured we'll get a whole set there. But,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll read that one.
Hopefully, number 2 is less soggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's being delivered a different way.
Man, like you said that the post that you've gotten just in that hard cardboard envelope before, and it's been okay, but I wouldn't trust that at all in general.
Yeah, Patrick had a good point. It was partially their fault for that's obviously it can't stand up to any kind of aggressive behavior.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So
I always say that if the seller marks fragile, do not bend, that's post office is like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably say, we got one, boys. Come on, gather around.
We'll see about that.
And they start laying dollar bills on who's going to do the most damage.
Well, all right. This no surprise, I'm sure. I read Star Wars 30 and Star Wars number 31. And of course, I wanted to get some feedback on what I started to do last week. And Ayla's in crew, and it's a 6-day-a-week endeavor for us from this point out. And so I was messing around with posting some. Karen's chiming in. It's the mail carrier, not the post office, because
okay.
She has connections to the post office. She felt slighted there. So
okay. I just put them all in one group.
Yeah,
but I get it.
So anyway, I tried my hand at making some shorts for Instagram with Star Wars 30 and 31, and I didn't really talk to either of you about it yet. So just hear what'd you think? How'd I do? Were they okay? What's up?
Did you just put them up yesterday?
Oh no, I put them up Monday and Tuesday. You didn't see them?
No,
I didn't see them. I saw the other stuff. I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, go to XcellarComics on Instagram and you'll see. Do it right now, actually.
What's funny?
What?
Observation I had. It's not. It's funny, but it's not funny.
Okay.
When you look at some of the odd stuff that's out there on Instagram, and I guess TikTok. I don't do TikTok, but people send me TikTok stuff.
Yeah.
And you see this stuff and the number of followers and comments that these videos and this stuff has, it's mind-boggling because it's bottom of the barrel stuff,
I totally, Mike, I'm actually going to give you credit for these 2 Instagram reels, because when you sent me that one lady and you're like, how does this lady have 50,000 followers? Yeah. And it was like you said, bottom of the barrel stuff. And I was like, you know what? This lady can get 50,000 followers with that. I'm trying my hand now.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, I'm following her because she's just so bizarre.
She's so cringy.
Yeah.
Okay. Kevin, I apologize. I did see these, but I just thought they were in general sort of advertisements using your catchphrase. I didn't realize they were book specific.
Oh, I saw them too. I thought it was a catchphrase advertising like the show.
Yeah.
Well, I was incorporating that too. Yeah. So you guys saw them. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna do that weekly, changing the books, and it'll say "get it or forget it."
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
You think that's cool?
Yes.
Yeah. If you can say something controversial or swear or insult somebody,
I'm gonna go with controversial. I'm good at that. I don't like swearing on public
Yeah, I
forums.
know. I'm kidding, but
Yeah.
that's
All right. Anyway, so yeah, I guess I'll start my way at the end and work my way back because I posted those 2 posts, and both Star Wars number 30 and 31 I put on there as get-its. And basically what's happening, these are pretty simple. I don't even think these are must-haves for Star Wars fans because they're not like really great in any way. It's just kind of a continuing story. This says Haldo. That's Haldo behind Princess Leia on the cover there. And basically the rebellion is running out of fuel, and Haldo has heard about this fleet of ships that were lost in I think it's actually on the cover here. No Space. Yeah, it says No Space right there. That's kind of the name of this story arc. She's heard, and I guess a lot of people have heard, it's not just special info for her, that this fleet of ships carrying a more fuel than you could ever use in a lifetime were lost in this area of space called No Space. So she goes with Luke and Leia and Lando to No Space to try to retrieve this fuel to use for the rebellion. When they get to No Space, they find out anybody that goes into, they find the fleet, and they discover that anyone that goes into No Space cannot escape No Space. It actually does one of those tricks when you try and you go, and then when you go and you stop, you're back where you began, kind of thing. And that's kind of what happens in issue 30. And then in 31, we're obviously still stuck in No Space, and then they do find out there's actually people there. This little kid comes up and they start talking to him, and then these killer, death bots start attacking them. So then they are saved by this race of people. There's actually a bunch of different races because basically anybody who comes to No Space can't leave. So they then start working together just to basically make their own kind of universe in No Space, and just live there forever. So then, of course, the leader of No Space informs Luke and Leia and Haldo and the crew that they're stuck there forever, so get used to it. And of course, then they start to come up with some kind of plan as to how they're going to escape, because they're not settled for that. They're not happy about it. Chewbacca's there too. And actually ending this issue 31, there's like this epiphany that Chewbacca has about this stone painting that he saw in one of the areas that they were kind of showing him around the place. And Chewbacca had a vision about something he saw in this. And it basically leads you to believe Chewbacca's going to come up with a solution to get out of No Space here in the subsequent issues. And there's another interesting too. Who knows, again, we were just talking about who knows if it's a key or not. But there's actually a new Jedi, and I should probably have that Jedi's name written down, but I don't. That's introduced in issue 31 because centuries before the time that they're currently in, there was actually a Jedi that got stuck in No Space as well. And he's actually the one that saved this civilization from the Death Bots and the race that created the Death Bots. Basically, the Death Bots are only in one spot of No Space now. And of course, that's where Luke and Leia and Chewbacca and Haldo landed. And there's nowhere else. So they just have to avoid that area to avoid the Death Bots. But there used to be Death Bots everywhere. And this Jedi used to be there that saved them. This was, like I said, centuries beforehand, though. So this Jedi is now dead. But there's all kind of mural paintings and kind of worshipiness of this Jedi. Like I said, I can't remember his name, but I think it's the first time that Jedi was ever introduced in Star Wars. So who knows? Maybe it's key. But like I said, these are get-its. They're fine. I like the way you described the art from the Silver Surfer book, like you're like, you know, it's fine, it does its job, you know, and that's kind of the art with this as well. And you know, the story's fine. I'm not a big Holdo fan. She's pretty cool.
I feel like this was like the chance to build her character up and get to know her a little better, and I don't think they did a great job of doing that.
I thought she was less. She's not annoying, at least. You know, I guess that's a little bit. I guess, right? I don't know. Did you read these two then, Pat?
I've started this storyline. I'm not sure if I've read 30. I definitely haven't read 31.
Okay.
It's probably overall in this segment post Empire, it's probably my least favorite story so far.
Okay.
I mean, don't take one of the prominent keys of the Rebel Alliance, Leia, and the only Jedi left out to no space and potentially get them stranded.
Yeah, right. Yeah, strand them there forever. Yeah. You know, and I'm glad you mentioned that you're reading this too, because there is a spoiler in 31. It's kind of not story related, but it is kind of whoa when it happens. So, you know, look for that in 31. I won't say what it is though, but yeah, these are get-its. They're pretty good. If you're not a Star Wars fan, you know, it's not a hard pass, but you know, it's not really special or good in any way. Kind of like you were saying, Pat, as well. So, you know. But I definitely can. I mean, I'm going to get Star Wars regardless. It could be. I could review every Star Wars comic as trash, and I'll probably still grab them all. But yeah. So these are get-its for me. So. All right, that was a good mix of books too. Some sci-fi, some mysterious, otherworldly, and some Silver Surfer action. That's good.
Well, it's been a while since I've done a superhero book.
Yeah. They always seem to work out pretty well, how the mix we get in our reviews anyway, too. So I've said it many times, I'll say it again right here. If I wasn't on this show, I'd be watching it every Sunday, that's for sure. Thank you, live studio audience. All right, Pat, that means you're up.
Okay.
Are you ready to go?
I am.
In this extra long episode of Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space. Sweet. What do we got?
Yeah, well, let's since we're gearing up for the release, we have some Hasbro news with the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 Marvel Legends series Cosmo Build-A-Figure wave. A lot of the Guardians in their, you know, I don't know if in the comics they adopted these uniforms. I always liked them. I don't know how much they'll be wearing these in the movie, but they certainly are shown in the previews off and on in these costumes.
They look pretty awesome.
We'll start out with a non-Guardian, semi-Guardian, Kraglin.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time he's got a Marvel Legends figure, especially the movie line. I don't know. Drax in the official Guardians uniform. Right? Yeah, I think they're pretty good.
Yeah,
those are real good.
For me, that uniform helps. I don't know, because I've always liked it, and the faces look good. I mean, they've been sort of refining that technology where they have this like sort of stamp that puts the face right on, and I think it's pretty well done in these figures. Mantis.
Yeah, I've never seen that outfit before, but yeah, it definitely looks cool. Yeah.
Nebula.
Nice. And they all look good.
Rocket. And Star-Lord. to round off the main team. Then we have who I think is going to be the potential enemy, but who knows? Adam Warlock.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm excited to see as well.
And there's the Build-A-Figure. It's Cosmo.
It's kind of my favorite one. But I like dogs, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm a Cosmo fan now too, actually.
Yeah, so these were released all at one shot on a live stream or whatever and put up for pre-orders. Well, not pre-orders. I think they're just going to be out soon. We mentioned that with the Star Wars a couple weeks ago when Ty was on it. They supposedly aren't going to do pre-orders anymore, and I heard that was the case for something else we're going to talk about here. So I don't know if that's across the board with Hasbro or just you can't pre-order, it just shows up at the store. I don't know. But a few days later, after this initial wave was announced, they showed off this Groot Deluxe figure for the Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which looks to come with potentially a pre-bioengineered rocket down there.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a spoiler there.
Well, it's in the trailer. They show him. I think when he's initially being.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mike.
No, I'm talking about the wings on Groot.
Oh,
that is a spoiler. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about wings on Groot.
Me neither. That's what I'm saying. We'll see in the movie. Hopefully, at least, it might be some stupid thing where they just got on an action figure. It has nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. I like that Warlock action figure. Then I like the way Warlock actually looks in real life as of now. I think that's actually better, in my opinion, than what I've seen him in real life. I don't know. What do you guys think of the way he looks so far?
Yeah.
We've seen him in the trailer.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not a fan of that. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
Especially, I just we just saw the Guardians, and I agree. I like that, the blue and stuff. Yeah, that uniform is really cool. So when you look at all of those and all those characters, they look great, and then you get to Adam Warlock, and I'm like, yeah, not a fan of it. But I'll have to see how it translates onto the movie and stuff.
Yeah,
I assumed. It sounds like you said, you're kind of prepared for Warlock to be the antagonist, but I assumed he was going to be kind of like a cameo Captain Marvel, where he kind of comes and helps them. That's what I thought from the trailer. But
yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. We will see. Speaking of that, did either of you see Ant-Man yet?
No.
I'm going to do my best to get to that this week, so hopefully I can review it next week. I'm not hearing good things so far, that's for sure.
Only at the theater, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just going back to that.
I sure hope so. I actually like it that way.
Yeah, it's hard to spend $100 at the movie theater, though.
It is.
All right, moving on from the Guardians. Has more Hasbro. They announced this standalone Power Man, which I think is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
It's funny. I didn't notice it at first, but a lot of people were complaining. Both this and the Marvel Legends 375 Retro that they released. His pants are black, and usually they're blue back in this era. I mean, you always have that blue-black sort of, is it supposed to be black with blue highlights? But I always thought his were more just solid blue. I don't know.
I didn't actually realize that. No.
I think he looks fine, though.
Hey, I think he looks cool, yeah.
I
honestly don't know if the pants are supposed to be,
Yeah, not a big deal. Hasbro Indiana Jones Adventure Series, they showed the Map Room Indiana Jones and the Chasm. Is this from Last Crusade? Any real big Indiana Jones aficionados that know all the trivia?
I can't remember. No.
Yeah, I'm the same way. My apologies to the indie fans out there. All right. Seems like you can't go a week these days without more McFarlane news. So
it does.
yeah, he just keeps on pumping them out. So we had a Doom Patrol wave come out this week. I don't know what era this is. If this is the New 52 era. Maybe you guys know. They showed Arsenal, Donna Troy, Nightwing, and Raven. And as you can see, the extra parts as a
wow.
Beast Boy in like a beast form.
Yeah.
You know, individually they look okay. When you group them together like that with Beast Boy in the middle, they look awesome. I think they look great there.
Yeah, I think they all look. I mean, yeah. Jeez.
And then
Black Series is the way to go with Star Wars, but in my opinion, Todd's the way to go in superheroes. I don't know.
So in then a weird twist or a knife in the back or the side, if you want the regular Beast Boy, which I think is from this era, he's a Walmart exclusive.
He looks pretty cool too, though. Yeah, that sucks. Why would? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if even now that I look at it, it's not the same exact costume. So maybe it's two different eras of Beast Boy, but it's just kind of strange.
And that's not, is that a Build-A-Figure also, but only in the Walmart packs, or is that?
No, he's standalone. Yeah, standalone
okay.
Walmart exclusive.
All right.
All announced in the same week. So yeah, I don't know what their thinking is behind that. I put this in the show because I thought it was technologically cool, and it's another from our buddies over at XM Studios, is the Symbiote Transformation statue.
Wow.
That is pretty cool.
There he is, standing by a human, as they generally do, to give you an overall sense of scale. This is maximum edition of 799 statues, and it will run you US $1,407.
That's half what I thought. That's the deal.
Shipping not included.
That is awesome, though. That is awesome.
There you can see the specs if you want to translate from centimeters to inches. And there's we already saw him by a human. It's a big statue. Yeah. I just the way they did the Venom's coming out of the back. I just think is pretty cool. The thing I don't like about this statue is Spider-Man. I don't like his eyes at all.
I like it.
I like him.
My question is, does it come with a tube of super glue? Because I would break.
That's what I was gonna say. I would be so worried. Yeah.
Holy cow!
Even if I could afford to spend $2,000 on a statue, man, where would you put this to where you'd think it would just, as soon as it fell one time, it's all wasted.
Yeah.
Don't go in that room. I can't have any vibrations. That is so cool, though.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to show it. It's not really up my alley, as far as character or sort of the choices they made, but just the overall technical execution I thought was really neat. A lot of times too.
Tyler's going to ask me for this for Christmas.
So, I was going to say, I can't wait till Tyler gets this, because he's the only one out of the four of us that's crazy enough and young enough to go buy this.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, I'm going to buy it. I'll just sort everything out next month.
I will say a lot of the times, if you're worried about breakage, a lot of times, like the sort of the tendrils will be made out of a flexible material, because they know that they're not going to withstand any kind of, bumpage.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so we'll move over to something a little more affordable. And Mezco, they've been doing these so because Toy Fair doesn't happen in the winter time anymore, they've been doing sort of their own Toy Fair over on their webpage, and they joined the latest company to make a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, action figures, and these are, you know, more of the Eastman and Laird comic book versions, all red bandoliers. These are in the 5-point line, which we talk about all the time, you know, 5 points of articulation, although these are called 5-point plus. What that entails, I don't know. Maybe they have extra hands and heads and things like that.
Yeah.
But this is the only shot they showed so far, just the initial release. I mean, they look fine. I mean, different companies have done these original Turtles before, and there was nothing. There's nothing new or unique or special so far about these ones, I don't think.
Unfortunately, they're following that awesome Spider-Man Venom statue. So these look like something I built in my basement with some silly putty.
And lastly, from Mezco, and what I saved for last is this new line. Well, first,
is this the new King? Possibly?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Depending on your, you know, there's a depending on your definition of King, there's a bit of a wordplay there, I guess.
Okay, gotcha.
This is part of what they're calling the Kaiju collection, and this is Kaiju collection Godzilla. Okay, so King of the Monsters. You see where?
Gotcha. Okay.
So he may not be the king of your collection, but he's king somewhere.
Thought there was going to be an oversized monkey on there called Kong. But, this is next best.
So he is 8 inches tall, about 12 inches from the tip of his tail to the front of his body. I think that's coming up in a shot here. But the thing that's different about this guy is, and they've done this in the past, and we'll see how things go for Mezco, but he has an internal skeleton with a flexible body. A lot of times, unfortunately, in figures like that, the plastic or the rubber deteriorates and it starts to break. So we'll see how this guy goes. He comes with accessories and interchangeable hands. Let me see here. Yeah, there's all the little extra parts. He comes with buildings, atomic breath, and there you go. 12 inches from teeth to tail, they're calling it. So yeah, you can see the hands. You can swap out the hands. His jaw moves. He has a hinged jaw, but the rest of his articulation is underneath that quote unquote skin. It's that skeleton you can move and pose how you want.
That's cool.
But yeah, you just never know how it's going to hold up, unfortunately. And I don't think I mentioned it. He's $140. So yeah, it sort of lines up with Mezco's 112 series, the 6-inch figures that have the super articulation. They're sort of like Marvel Legends, but they're more upscale. We talked about it, like the Spider-Man and the Green Goblin in the past, where they, line them up with classic poses from comic book covers. I sort of liken it to that line, although obviously this is totally a different genre, with the monsters and things like that. But I think they're kind of using the same ideas here. I think he looks really cool, but I probably will be passing on him just because of the price.
Really?
Yeah. Well, and two, just because I'd like to see initially what people think about the execution of the rubber in the internal.
Oh, so now it might just be a pass for now for you then.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
What's up with all these pictures? Obviously black and white. Do you know what he looks like for his color? What?
Yeah, that's him. It's based off the original Godzilla movie. I guarantee.
Oh, so it's gonna be a black and white look.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would not doubt that there'll be a color version.
Okay.
On down the line. And if this is successful for them, they'll do other versions of Godzilla and assumingly other different kaiju. So yeah, that's it for the Horizon this week.
Awesome. Yeah, I was actually surprised to hear you say, obviously it's expensive, but that wasn't something you would at least try to get, because I'm not a huge Godzilla fan, but that's cool enough that I'd try to get that if. But I guess that's the smart thing to kind of wait and see how it holds up, though, as well. So,
yeah, I'd be cautious.
but that's awesome. As usual, that Spidey Venom statue is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys liked that. I wasn't sure. I almost didn't put it on. In fact, before the show this morning, I only had one picture, and I was like, I got to show a better view that shows Venom coming out of the back, So I pulled the other ones.
Yeah, it was great. And yeah, man, like I said, where are you on all Todd's figures in general? Like, I mean, I do you think they're all as quality as I do? I mean, they all are like great, right?
I don't have any of this new era since he took the DC license on, so I can't comment. All I can comment is on their appearance. Todd has always been given a bad rap for sculpting versus articulation, and sometimes the articulation being forced, where it makes it look odd with all the weird cuts and things like that. I think he's definitely, as a company, they have definitely improved. You don't notice it as much, although we talked about that Robin a couple weeks ago, but that's sort of an outlier. But yeah, since I don't own any, I can't really say, it's just he's doing DC and a lot of the stuff that it's sort of out of my interest as far as DC goes these days.
Yeah,
unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, it's fortunate not to be sucked into wanting something so so much that there's like so much to get. Yeah. Definitely. All right. Every time I feel like we have a real long episode, I look back, at our other episodes, and we got comparable episodes to this length, like out the wazoo. Yeah. So it's not like it's like crazy long.
We got 9 more minutes. Come on, we can do it.
Well, we still have that last segment.
All right. Yeah. Right. Speaking of that, are we ready for it?
Yeah.
The sun's starting to set.
Okay. All right, Mike, you're first this week.
Did you switch that during the thing?
No, you've been there since the review.
That's right. Let's see. Newsflash. I wasn't paying a lot of attention and taking notes early in the show, but I don't have many. So there are some uncanny matchups.
Good job, Karen.
There are some uncanny matchups in Cover Combat 3, Round 3.
Sure are.
Yeah.
It's crazy. A lot of mine are Kevin specific this week. Kevin isn't maxed out on Amazon movies.
No. And I say don't underestimate a movie that starts with Max. That's for sure. They got some unexpectedly enjoyable content.
I'm next. Collecting action figures will break your wallet. That's why I don't do it.
True.
Luckily, my wallet has like an internal skeleton with a rubber coating.
Nice, right?
You're a hit.
We found out that Loveland expires after 15 minutes.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Pat, you are a master with wordplay. That's for sure, man. Every time you get me, and all your posts, follow us everywhere because Pat's hilarious. Anyway, I was just gonna say, don't come out of the gate guns a-blazing. when you're reviewing movies and shows, take it in a little bit, get some other people's viewpoints, reanalyze, and you just might change your mind about Wakanda Forever and The Last of Us.
Yep. And maybe even Avenue 5, Patrick.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. Yeah.
That was mine.
Okay.
I don't know. We promised, but apparently we may revisit Wakanda Forever.
You're right. Mike watches it this next week.
Yeah.
Man, that's so good. Oh, geez. Yeah, we are funny, Mom. Thanks. I appreciate it. Well, they're funny. I'm not trying to be conceited. He's funny. They're funny.
Well, we need someone to laugh at.
Anyway. What was, man, I just had it. And I lost it. Oh, no, this is ironically enough. I had it and I lost it because I was going to say this, that, sometimes, not this week, Pat is on point this week. Seriously, I'm not even joking, Pat. You're awesome. But sometimes I just wanted to say that, this is the recap. We're just recapping the show, and sometimes our trying to be clever and funny comes off forced. It doesn't even have to be. Just, recap, the show, So that's what I'm going with. Apparently, Silver Surfer is, a hesitant get it. And what's it, 10,000 Black Feathers? Did I say that right?
Yes.
Is a get it, but maybe probably wait for a trade. And, Star Wars just a consistent, still good, but nothing special right now. So,
yep.
Mike?
My last one is Jeff Lemire is better in trade paperback. Well, as far as his creator-owned stuff, I never really read a lot of his superhero stuff.
Same here.
So it may be a little bit different.
Well, what's he really have superhero?
He did long stints. He did Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Green Arrow.
Superboy.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I've never read any of those. Okay.
Bloodshot. X-Men. I think he did some X-Men stuff. Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff.
Huh. News to me.
Did you guys? This is going off on a real weird tangent, and probably shouldn't because we're already so long. Have you guys seen the Bloodshot movie?
No.
I remember when it came out, and I thought about watching it.
Oh, no. Oh, with Vin Diesel.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I did see it. Yes, I did.
I haven't. It just because Mike mentioned it. My mother-in-law posted the synopsis on a message group, and she was like, she thought it was just the synopsis was hilarious, and I had to agree with her. But I knew what the movie who that was based on. I don't think she has a clue that it's a comic book or anything like that.
Yeah,
it was just weird. So,
what's the synopsis though that was funny, or it was just a funny synopsis?
It's just so over the top and off the wall. She thought it was funny.
Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha.
So outrageous,
Hey, my review is that I liked it. I thought it was good.
Okay.
That's having not read any Bloodshot comics though, so I'm not coming from that direction. Just from if you want a crazy ride,
that's it.
But that synopsis is accurate though. It is crazy. It's nuts. It's one of those let's get nuts movies. So, but I liked it anyway. Yeah, I think that might be all I had.
That's all I got.
The new King is Godzilla, and he looks awesome, but we'll wait and see.
Mm-hmm. I got one more. Right. Usually I really do enjoy Mike's comic reviews, but this week he was a real wet blanket.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh, anyway. So that it? You got another one, Mike?
No, that's it. That's good.
All right. Okay, let me breathe for a minute. So recap, or to remind everybody, please like and comment on this video, as well as subscribe and hit that bell to get notifications. Comment on this video in particular about Cover Combat 3 to claim your winner to win Infinity Gauntlet full series 1 through 6, or if you're part of the Xcellar group, getting a reprint of the first appearance of the character from whoever you pick on your winning cover. And please subscribe to Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space on Anchor by Spotify. Our podcast is lonely and it needs you to visit. And we're also on many other podcast providers as well. And please listen to the edited podcast of this live stream on Spotify that will be posted later today or tomorrow. Follow XcellarComics on Facebook, Instagram, which you're going to get some cool new reels on the regular. I shouldn't paint myself in a corner there in case I fail, but hopefully you will on Instagram. And also follow us on Twitter and follow Xcellar_comics on TikTok and whatnot. And watch our show on the Whatnot app on Fridays at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, subject to change. Might move it up a little bit earlier, but I've got a show scheduled for 10:30 this coming Friday that you can bookmark now. And then check out what we have to offer on eBay at Xcellar_comics and XcellarComics.com. And then lastly, watch our next live stream next Sunday at 1:30 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. And, I noticed once again, ever since we've said 1:30 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time, we're typically ready ahead of schedule now. So I guess that's a good thing, though, in case someone's like, oh, man, I missed the first 10 minutes. Hey, when can you start, like if someone would start watching us now, could they just start at the beginning and never catch up with us? Or does a video not post until after the live stream's completely over? Do you know?
Yeah, you can watch it.
From the beginning?
Yeah, Marcus says you can just pull up and start at the beginning while we're going.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good to know. Okay. So I was thinking, man, someone comes in and we're early, they'll be like, oh, I missed 10 minutes, and they have to wait for 3 hours. All right, cool. Thank you to Karen for helping us out and doing a great job today. Got the new special sound effects hooked up, and Karen used them with great skill today. We appreciate you, Karen. Thank you. Mike, Pat, you got anything else, or is that it?
That's it.
That's it. I got Marcus chomping at the bit because he just picked up 200 football cards for like $20.
Awesome. That's going to be a fun look through.
Yep. So I think we got
Have a good time. Have a good time with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that'll do it. And until next time, don't forget, appreciating great art is awesome. And reading a great story is fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Xcellar out.